Hello everybody! Welcome to the end of the year. 2013 leaving out. Was it a good year for you? My esteemed co-host Chris?
Yeah, it's alright. Lots of interesting games we'll be talking about today on this little list we got here.
Alright, don't be a prick.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty good year, looking back on it.
It has been, hasn't it?
Yeah, when I first thought about it, I was like, there wasn't really too much out this year, but to be fair, I played a lot of it early on in the year.
Yeah.
And, like, in the summer, and then the past few months I haven't played too much. So it seemed like there wasn't much.
I feel that.
And especially in the last few months, there's been, like, the new consoles coming out.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't feel like a year where we've had new consoles. I think that's going to be 2014. We're going to definitely be seeing more.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to 2014. Fuck 2013, let's just talk about 2014.
Absolutely. So we will see you all next year for 2014's Game of the Year deliberations, when we decide that year was worth talking about.
Yep, and the winner of 2013 is GOTY.
Yeah, you joke. You joke. You do joke, yes. Because I know for a fact you
we'll find out soon
you hated that game.
We'll find out.
Okay, so the way that this is going to work, we've set up some categories. Me and Chris deliberated.
You say that.
But we did.
Okay.
I asked for your help, you refused to give it, so I did it all myself as usual.
No, I was helping. A bit.
A bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So we set up some categories, we have nominations in them. For the ones where we couldn't think of more than 3, we're going to pick 1. And for the things where we decide, there's too much to choose from, pick 1 overall winner, followed by 2 runners-up. Not necessarily in any order, those runners-up, just totally what we feel is a close second jointly.
Yep. Jointly, yep.
Jointly close second.
Yep.
And then we'll send out emails to everybody who wins and ask them to come over here whilst we present them with our
golden
award ceremonies.
Trophy, obviously.
Yep. It's going to be a little golden floppy disk.
Did you ever watch that video? The guy reviewed the Christmas sandwiches on YouTube. He had a whole playlist of like Morrison's Christmas turkey sandwich and Waitrose, and he reviewed them all. Then he gave like a golden baguette to the winner.
Oh yeah,
it was amazing.
That was really funny.
I watched all of those.
Maybe you're a sucker for things that take 4 hours to watch and are completely pointless.
Anything in a list, like BBC Three. I think there was. BBC doesn't have adverts.
Yeah.
I was watching. I think it was the top 100 celebrity moments or something really stupid, like top 100 soap romances.
And you've never watched all of soap?
No, I don't even. I couldn't tell you the difference between Coronation Street and Emmerdale.
One is set in London, the other is Emmerdale.
It was so good. Just no breaks, like 4 hours of this.
Wow.
Just to find out what number 1 was. Can't remember it, but
I figure I might have killed myself if I was forced to watch 4 hours of something like that.
Nah, anything in a list.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's not like you've got anything else to do with your time.
No.
Not like us busy people.
No, busy bees.
Bzz.
Right, what's the first...
okay, so first category. Best new trend.
Ooh.
Figure that this year we've seen a lot of rising stars in the trending scene.
Yep.
So we're gonna... I figure when we say best, I mean most enjoyable, maybe most potential to go somewhere.
Yep.
Something that we don't feel will be terrible for this industry.
Yep. That sounds good.
So, nominations. Indie games.
Wait for this. So we're just picking 1, so there's no runners-up.
Yeah, we're picking 1 for this.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Because we have 4.
Okay.
So, if this was, let's pick one that isn't... I can already see
this is going to be a problem. This is just, we're going to have such arguments here, I can already tell.
I know.
Because I think I know which one I want, but...
Well, I think it's the same one. Maybe. Okay, so indie games reaching a larger audience. So, what I mean by this, we've got Steam Greenlight. That hit this year, didn't it? I swear that
might have been a year.
It's been a whole year. It's been a whole year, and it hasn't been out that long. Whatever it is, this year it's been notable. We've had that. We've had all of these kickstarting campaigns hit. We've had, Star Citizen, I don't know if that counts as an indie game, but it's being funded through Kickstarter, so kind of it is.
Is that the one where you get the really detailed ships?
I think so. That's the one which Ben is like an admin of on Reddit, and it's now got like $35 million or something crowdfunded.
Wow.
Yeah. That's doing all right for itself, but I just feel like all of these avenues are presenting people with games that they may never have even heard of, and it's presenting developers with all of these great opportunities to make games with people actually listening to them. So,
and more people can buy it.
Yeah, I feel like that's a valid entry into this category.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of the time, if stuff wasn't available on Steam, people wouldn't bother. But with Greenlight and stuff like that,
yeah,
making it more accessible.
Yeah. Okay, so we've had that. We have games becoming available online for purchase. Now, PC Master Race, you may not know what we're talking about here. Apparently, a while ago, you couldn't buy games online if you were only playing on consoles. You had to walk into a place called a store and talk to a person, and they will hand you the game that you want, and then you exchange paper currency for it.
You may graze their hand in the transaction.
Yeah, and then there's the eye contact, and
you
it's
drop
just
your
very
wallet.
awkward. Very awkward.
They give you the receipt with the change on top.
Oh,
and you have to take the change off to put in your wallet.
You can't fit
away to get the receipt.
You're cupping the hand. You're holding something in the other hand. So then
you've got this
you're trying to shove something into a pocket, but then you've dropped some change, and people around you are picking it up for you. And it's like, I didn't ask you to pick it up for me. Now I feel like I owe you something. You're not keeping it. And it's just a nightmare.
Then you both go to pick it up at the same time. Do you want chiller? I don't.
It's an absolute nightmare. So it's a good job that in the recent months we've seen a massive, massive rise in the amount of online games that you can actually purchase, full and ready to download on the consoles.
Yeah. I'm sure I saw a post or something ages ago about the download limit for Xbox 360 when it was first released. It was either 50 megabytes or 500 megabytes was the maximum thing you could publish on Xbox Live download. You couldn't put anything in bigger on.
No way.
Yep.
500 megabytes.
Yep.
No way.
Okay, yep. Honestly.
That's not even enough for a game.
Yeah, not a full game, but smaller arcade games at the time you could get away with, but...
Nah, bullshit, that'd never happen.
No, I swear. I heard it off somebody on the internet. It's true.
Okay, so that wild rumour that you may or may not have heard.
Trust me.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
cool.
I swear you can download full Xbox One games, though.
Yep, you can do that.
But you can only download
PS4.
about 35.
Yeah, the hard drive is only 500 gigabytes. And also, what's really dumb about the hardware system with the Xbox One, is you can't actually manually delete stuff, from what I've heard. It will automatically delete things that you don't use.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, like, you can't just say, delete this, delete that, delete that. It will do it automatically as you run out of space for stuff you're not using.
That sounds exactly like something one of us PC Master Race users would find really useful.
Would it?
Not being able to choose what to delete.
Yeah.
Seeing as I have like 2 500 gigabyte hard drives completely full with Steam games. If it just chose go to launch one of these games one day and it's like, nah, sorry, we deleted that.
Yeah. God, I really want to play Mass Effect 2 again. No, you don't.
Fuck you for thinking this.
Yeah.
Okay, so that. Overall, a good trend, being able to not go out and have to buy things.
Yeah, I mean, with the PS4, I think every single game that you can get in a shop, you can get on the...
Brilliant.
Online. I mean, there may be one or two that are missing out, but from what I've seen, I can spot every one that I know of on there. And there's the upgrade system where you can buy the digital version if you have the physical copy for cheaper. So, it's good. They're integrating it well.
That's cool. But I'd at least like to see a departure from the rigid standards of the game must be priced this amount. Because with the Steam store, you at least get sales, you get deals, you get things that act like a real store, and all of these PS stores and Xbox Live Arcade store things all seem like they are unfaltering. They will never ever change.
I know. if they drop the price of new games to the same price as physical, or even cheaper would be better. I would totally just download games off the website, off the marketplace.
Absolutely.
But the fact that they cost more is not worth it. I'd just go to the shop. Then you get a physical copy.
What is the logic there? The logic there? We have less things to make. We don't have to burn a CD. We don't have to make a cover or get a case.
The middleman doesn't have to make profit.
Give it more. Yeah, just make it more.
The game doesn't have to make profit. Or whatever.
All we need to do is make a CD key and pay for servers. That's it.
Yeah, and then you're done. But no, it's just more expensive.
Ridiculous.
They can get away with it, so people have to...
So, moral of this story, buy a PC. So, next thing. VR. Virtual reality.
Yeah.
Don't know if this is actually a trend yet, but it will be. And it started this year.
And it starts right now.
Everybody get on down to the Oculus Rift, because this is gonna be one not to miss.
Yeah, I'm really... As soon as they announce the consumer version, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
Because once it has... It's HD. It's not HD at the moment, is it? The dev kit?
It's HD, but not 1080p. I think it's like 720p.
When it's 1080p, when I can actually buy the damn thing... and I think they might be implementing motion tracking. I saw like a post on the Oculus subreddit about some guy speculating. Like, here's the setup they've been showing with a chair fixed to the floor with these cameras around it or something. So it might be...
What do you mean? Implementing motion tracking? It does have motion tracking?
No, but I mean, like, so it has... instead of you just tilting your head, you can move backwards and forwards a bit and kind of peek around corners and stuff like that. So you can still move in the 3D world backwards and forwards.
Okay.
So like a little bit. It's only speculation. There's nothing confirmed.
Okay.
But I'm really looking forward to virtual reality. And there's rumours that Sony are working on one. Maybe just trying to jump on the hype.
Game are working on one.
The game stick.
Yep.
The game headset. Yeah, that wasn't good. But if it's making a trend, I don't think Microsoft will bother with one.
I think they will once they figure out how great it is. Or they will just try and go straight for the birds and the bees and implement the Oculus officially onto the Xbox One.
Just cut out the middleman, just do it.
Yeah.
But
now that they've got some pushing power with John Carmack.
I think that the problem is that with Microsoft, though, is they're trying to get away from... Like, they're trying to be hands-free and stuff with the Kinect, so it's just you. So I don't know if they would bother trying to slap you on with a headset.
No.
But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, it's all to come. So then the final nomination in this category for Best Trend of 2013 is in-game alternate reality games.
I didn't write this one. I don't really get it.
Okay, so let me explain.
I was wondering what the hell is what's an ARG?
An ARG, alternate reality game. You know how when Portal 2 was like coming out, there was that massive campaign where you got to hack into the
was it the potato
Aperture
thing?
Science, the potato thing, all that kind of jazz. And then recently there was one with the Man vs. Machine stuff in Team Fortress 2, where people were discovering the launch of this new content before it was integrated using this game. And then there's the whole space operation in Surgeon Simulator, where you had to operate on an alien.
Right.
And I just think that the way that you prolong the impact of your game by putting something in there that allows fans to fully develop themselves in your universe just to unlock additional content is really great.
Okay, so are we talking about with this, say the Man vs. Machine thing? People were they just finding clues throughout the actual game?
Yes.
Like they were finding little hints. Okay.
Yeah, they were finding clues through the game, and Valve always likes to do this thing where they know that people would just break into the game and look at all the source codes and stuff. So they always place really crazily complicated clues inside their source code and stuff. Yeah. I mean, I am not somebody who does this, so I may have just butchered that process. But I would rather just sit back and watch everybody else do the hard work and then reap the rewards of the new game. Except that point where was it the Portal 2 thing? Where the people who all did the most contributing to the alternate reality game got flown out to Valve and play Portal 2 before it was launched. That was really sick.
That's pretty good.
That was
This sounds like new marketing, to be honest. Like,
It
it's
is.
interesting.
It is. It's a way
it's a good way to do it.
Instead of just shoving an advert down our throats, you get us all super hyped.
Yep.
And
it works.
then you lie to the internet, and everybody gets really pissed off. Like with the Fallout thing recently.
The Fallout thing.
The Fallout thing. The Survivor.
Oh, yeah. That happened.
People
People can
cried.
manipulate it.
People
Really?
cried at that. People were so excited, even though everybody should have known that it wasn't real because of a series of really like bizarre things that would never happen with one of Bethesda's stuff.
Yeah.
And then people just
any
lapped it up.
chance
Oh, Fallout. Yeah. So that's what happened, and people cried.
Good trend. But I think we have to pick a winner.
We have to, and I think it's going to both be the same one.
Well, I go for virtual reality.
I would also go for virtual reality, but I don't think we can just pick it like that because we have to say why that is the best.
Okay, right. I think virtual reality should win this because if this trend continues, we'll have a whole other dimension of gaming. Something that people have been gagging for ages, which I would really like to enjoy. I mean, the other stuff's good as well, but it feels like we should already have that stuff. Like, we should already have indie games. They should be available to more people, and we should already be able to buy games online easily on consoles. But virtual reality is a trend that I think is pushing towards the future. That's why I think they should win.
That's a really good point. I did not think of that. The way that, I mean, the in-game alternate reality games, not essentially, not essential.
Not groundbreaking.
No, not
they're a nice little
groundbreaking.
touch.
It's great. I like the fact that it happens, but not the best trend.
Yeah.
I was bordering on picking indie games reaching a larger audience, because I think in the long run, that will be better than VR.
Yeah.
But I think those two go hand in hand in pushing the future with the larger... Because the thing they did with the Oculus Rift, sending out developer kits, and you can just go on some website and download 7 Oculus Rift games, all made by like 2-man studios. I think that is going to be what's pushing virtual reality into not just being a trend, but being an actual solid foundation of the future.
Yeah.
Will be the indie games reaching larger audiences, but I like what you're saying with the fact that that should already be the case, and this is truly groundbreaking, this virtual reality stuff.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think virtual reality should be our best trend.
Ding 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 ding
Ding ding ding!
Right.
Winner, winner,
I'll
chicken
call
dinner.
Oculus. Let them know the good news.
Okay. And maybe they'll send us over a free
and-
dev kit. Oh.
Just send it to me. I'm the one in charge of the channel, so I'll.
You what?
You could send 2.
You what, mate?
But if you can only send 1, then I mean, I'll.
Then we'll send it to the headquarters of Save Succeeded, officially
I'll let
located
them
at my
Chris's
student
house.
accommodation in Nottingham.
No, Sheffield,
Yes.
mate.
So, next category, worst trend. This is the complete opposite of best trend and very self-explanatory.
Yep.
Worst trends in the past. Sega releasing extra add-ons for their console. Motion controls. All that jazz.
Wait, we're looking at the same list.
Yeah, we are, but this is worst. I was just saying worst trends in the past.
Okay, I was going to say, this is not the right list.
You've boned me. All that your list says is dicks. What's happening?
I'm going to highlight this best trend vivid pink to symbolise that we've completed it.
Okay, well, I've highlighted
There we
VR in a gorgeous shade of yellow.
Okay, that's a good idea. Okay.
Right, so, worst trend. Nominees. Second screen gaming. So the
Okay.
Wii U and Smart Glass.
Right.
but also kind of includes crossplay on the PS4, but I like that, so I'm not including it.
Okay.
I then think I feel like I shouldn't include crossplay because that is an example of doing it right, so maybe we should rename this to doing second screen gaming badly.
Okay. What was bad about the Wii U though? Isn't that kind of the same thing as the crossplay? Like, I mean,
It can be. It can act as it.
Oh, are you talking about just using the other screen while playing?
Yes, something like
so just a map. Everything's a map and a menu on
everything's
the Wii U.
a map and a menu on the Wii U,
Okay,
and on
yeah,
Smart
that's really
Glass, the only game that does it well is like the sports games because that's the only one that makes sense. Everything else is just like, oh, what can we press on the
Google
start
for more
menu that
information.
we can just put in here?
Bing it.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand what you mean now. I just thought you meant in general.
No, I think the crossplay is really, really cool,
That's good.
and everything else sucks.
And like being able to play your entire game on the Wii U gamepad as well, I think that's pretty much the same thing as crossplay.
Yeah, I like that aspect. I just
good.
don't like when you're playing a Wii U game that
But
you have to touch
everything's a
the
menu.
Yeah,
Everything's an
although what's that
inventory.
game with the Wii U that they released with it that was kind of like Wii Sports, but like showcased all of the second screen gaming stuff? I thought that
God.
lots of things like the Nintendo World or whatever it was, the theme park.
Oh,
kind of
I know
thing.
one. Yeah, Nintendo Land.
Nintendo Land. I thought that did
Nintendo.
things really cool, but then no other game has attempted to do something like that.
Yeah,
It's not
I
used
think
any
the
of the concepts.
Wonderful 101, you had to draw on the screen to make the different weapons.
Yeah, but
So
at the same
It felt
time,
like it didn't feel like an addition.
that didn't
it felt
add
like just
anything
the
to
game.
anything, yeah. Okay, so there's that. We have... wait.
I was reading this earlier thinking, what the hell is this?
We have a category placed inside the middle of this category that I have just deleted. So, next nomination is MOBAs.
Okay. Yes.
Massively online battle arenas. Fuck
What's the
MOBAs. I absolutely hate MOBAs except Awesome Noughts because I'm good at it.
Yeah. They're very aggressive. They're
Yeah.
very, very aggressive. I mean, I enjoyed us playing League of Legends for the first few hours.
When we all
were
sucked.
like, this is okay, and like we're getting used to this. Oh, I died. Okay, doesn't matter. I'll have fun.
Yeah.
But then when you get to the point where you're competent
Yeah.
and you go against people who are good, and you just get your ass kicked over and over again, and you don't know why,
Yeah.
it's just too disheartening. There's no satisfaction. Like, in a lot of games, if I'd rather have a good game and lose than a bad game and win.
Yeah.
But with this, with MOBAs, it just feels like every game is a bad game if you lose. You
Yeah.
have to win.
Because in
It's just too
MOBAs,
competitive.
it's not like, let's say, a fighting game where you can beat your opponent when they're one hand down and it's like, oh, you've almost killed me, but I came back and now I feel really great. Yeah, in a MOBA, it's like, if you win hard. If you lose hard. There are very few circumstances where you can pull back from the clutches of defeat. And I think that the trend towards releasing shit tons of MOBAs, with Blizzard trying to release their MOBA, you got League of Legends, all this shit that's going on with League of Legends. I just think MOBAs need to just slow down for a while and just let one be one.
Just reevaluate and try and do something new with it.
Yeah,
Instead of
maybe we're just
churning out
bitter.
more MOBAs.
I think I just
Maybe.
hate what it turns me into. Because I hate
Yeah.
playing a new MOBA and getting shouted at when I suck. And then whenever I see someone else suck, I shout at them.
Yeah, like when I first played Dota 2, I said to the guys like, "Hi, never played a MOBA, I'm new to this." And like, okay, one guy was like, "Okay, that's fine." And I started playing it, and it's like, "Oh, Granthor, bottom lane mid gank, quick, forest." I was like, am I Granthor? Wipe it! Stop yelling! It's like, Chris P, you suck! What? Oh, Granthor, come on, quick! And I was like,
Noob team!
Yeah.
Report him!
I had no idea what I was doing,
Yeah.
and it just put me off.
Dota 2 specifically, I think there needs to be a It Gets Better campaign for Dota 2. Because everybody that plays that at the start gets butt fucked and shouted at. So, next trend, games that try to be roguelike likes.
Okay. So are we talking Rogue Legacy, Dungeons of
Rogue
Dreadmore?
Legacy, not Dungeons of Dreadmore because that is a roguelike.
Okay.
Risk of Rain and
Okay,
Rogue
right.
Legacy are the two that I am specifically thinking of. But fuck every other game that decides let's have some randomly generated elements and pretend like that makes our game better.
Yeah. The
I
world changes
do not
every
like Rogue
time you
Legacy.
load it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rogue Legacy could be a really great game if it did things right and didn't have this bizarre obsession with you dying 100 billion times before you can actually beat it.
I know. I enjoyed it for the first 2 hours, maybe.
Yeah.
I was like, this is pretty good, but then it just got to the point where I just wasn't good enough, I think, and I just got burnt out. Like, I don't want to put the time into this. There's no.
I had the
I
opposite.
don't feel the reward.
I had the opposite reaction to it. I really enjoyed the first few hours because I felt like things were a challenge. I was like, oh, I feel like I could win now, but I'm getting to that like stage where I'm starting to die in like 3 hits and it feels like a super hard game. But then it seemed like an hour after that I was just one-hitting everything. And then I'd get to the next area and it would feel like I was being butt-fucked. And then it would get to the point where I'd just one-hit everything and win. So I felt like it became too easy as a consequence of its design. Like, it was forcing you to have fun losing and then just gave you the win. There was never that perfect balance of challenge. And that's all because it decided it needed to be randomly generated and... Or, like, I love the random characters stuff. That thing where you have to pick between 3 or 4
good,
people that all have different things. I
Dwarfism
like
and stuff.
that because that makes a difference on the way you play the game. But all of that stuff about... I mean, I get the regenerating castle thing. I get that. Sure, go for it. But I don't get the whole you must get money to level up, and I like the buying new abilities part, but I don't like the I'm going to sink 1 billion points into hit points so that I can survive, because then it just makes it too easy.
I think the idea of the randomly generated stuff could have worked with the game if you didn't, every time you died you could buy stuff. Like, I think if those mechanics melded a bit better, then it could have worked, but I think it was more like the point of you having to die to get money to sink stuff into every time.
Yeah.
Kind of ruined it. I think that more than the random.
Or just go full out. And, like, this is the part I don't like. If you're going to try and be like a roguelike, just be a roguelike, but play not like a roguelike. Like, just have it so that at the beginning of the game, you pick one of these randomly generated characters, pick from a random set of skills that you're given, and then have a way to actually progress yourself whilst you're in the castle. Because the only parts in that castle which were acted like a roguelike were the parts where you found the items, and there were only about 5 items, and you only found them once
Rogue
every...
Legacy. Fucking fuck.
Yeah, fuck you, Rogue Legacy. I picked you as the worst trend. But no, also Risk of Rain, because Risk of Rain was really great until you realise that every enemy is essentially the same, and the game descends into how do you deal with a big crowd of enemies.
Yeah, I mean, I was enjoying it for the first level, and then when we got to the second bit, I was like, this is exactly the same. The monsters are the same. They're just more of them.
They just act
and they just
completely
chase
the
you.
same.
It didn't feel like any development, but
No, but I did like the random item stuff. But
yeah, that was cool.
I just don't like it when a game tries to be a roguelike and is bad. So if anything, this should be just bad games.
Yeah.
Worst trend,
games.
bad games.
Yeah, be good. So, which one are you going to go for? What are you
I
picking
think second screen gaming will die out by itself when people realise that, like motion controls, it's easier to do a shit job than it is to try and do a great job.
Yeah.
MOBAs, I don't think, are going anywhere, and we're vastly outnumbered on why they're unpopular, and we're hypocrites because we're playing one, kind of, right now.
Yeah, but that's
But that's good. And then...
Awesome.
Actually, it's not good, it's kind of actually really bad.
Well, it's getting to the point where we're losing, so...
No, that's not why it's bad.
Getting bitter.
It's getting bitter. Games that try and be roguelike likes, I figure that one, I guess, for me.
Okay.
You?
If it was... For me, I think probably the second screen gaming. Because they could do... the Wii U, if you use that correctly, that could be pretty cool.
Okay, let's change that then to bad second screen gaming.
Okay, bad second. Okay, because I mean, like Luigi's Mansion, stuff like that, when you were playing as the ghost, and you could track them with the pad, and you have to find them, and with the Nintendo Land, adding stuff like that, that can be cool. It can be fun. But when all you do is you've got this second screen, like the main point of the Wii U is that controller, and you're using it for a map, and you're using it for an inventory, every single game, you know.
Yeah.
I think that can be a problem. But if you use it well, then it could be really good. And Smart Glass, I don't know what Smart Glass does. I just know it's an app for your phone, and I don't give a shit. Because you can't play on it or do anything with it, so fuck it.
Okay, I agree. I think bad second screen gaming is like bad motion controls. Gimmicky, disgusting, and a waste of money.
Yeah, I mean, if you could do it well, then it could be good. But...
Yep, just like motion controls. Do it well, could be amazing, but are there really that many great applications?
Nah. The only good application I can think of motion controls were the two actually, stuff like WarioWare, things like that.
Oh yeah.
Where you, like fast mini games, or with the Xbox One with the fitness stuff, that looked pretty good. Where it's got the actual like detailed tracking.
Yeah.
But that's not really games, is it? It's just
no. I mean, the mini games is. I think it's just a case of...
It's very niche.
There are some... Yeah, it's a very niche thing. There are lots of examples where motion controls would benefit, and if you design a game around motion controls or second screen gaming, you will get a cool concept, but I just want to play normal games sometimes, and I don't feel like they should have forced second screen gaming. But I like having the ability to play my games on a portable device.
Yeah.
Which is why the PS3 is the best one, because it can do it when you're on the bus.
Yeah, standard. So, which one are we going for? Bad second
screen gaming.
Okay.
Okay, so worst trend of 2013, bad second screen gaming.
Woo boo.
Woo boo.
Fuck you, Smart Glass.
Okay, so next category. Most amount of feels.
This is going to be a sad one.
This is going to be a sad one.
Okay, I would like to just list the games and then say spoilers.
Yes.
Before we start talking in detail.
Yes.
Okay, so for the list, Brothers.
Yep.
Gone Home.
Yep.
Papers, Please.
Yep.
The Swapper.
Yep.
GTA 5.
Yep.
So if you don't want any spoilers for those, then whichever two of you are listening to
I'd just like to chime in and say if you haven't played Brothers, Gone Home, Papers, Please, or The Swapper, do that now.
Yeah, just pause this, save
download them all, and then play them all, and then come back, because you don't want to miss what's coming up.
Right after this break.
This commercial break for Smart Glass Technologies.
Oh no, for the Wii U gamepad. No, okay, let's start then. Brothers.
I think Brothers should win.
Okay. Oh god, only 1/5 of the way there, and already.
I think Brothers should win.
Okay.
So let's describe why this game has the most amount of feels.
Something?
What?
We're talking about the most amount of feels. Is this purely from the story, or how the gameplay also?
This is from anything.
The whole thing.
This is the whole thing.
Okay.
That's why I think Brothers should win. It perfectly blends. Actually, no. Papers, Please also does this. It blends, and the Swapper gameplay and gameplay and crying just together, mashed, and sadness and tears and.
I know. Big mush of
Okay, so
emotions.
Brothers. The reason why this game has the most amount of feels. You play as two brothers. Older brother, younger brother. Younger brother, kind of struggling with the guilt of thinking he killed his mother. His mother drowned at sea, he can't swim, he probably could have saved her if he could, so he feels super duper guilty. Your dad is taken ill, and the two brothers have to journey together to the Tree of Life to get this nectar to give to their dad so their dad can live.
Yep.
In the process, you go through the most amazing environments, you overcome grand obstacles, and you just bond together. You literally can describe this as both halves of your brain learning to work together in the same way that the two brothers learn to work together as they go through the journey.
I really think, out of all the games this year, the controls for this added so much This game was the controls. When I was first trying to wheel the dad in the wheelbarrow, I was like, fucking hell.
And then later on, when you're doing almost the same thing, it's
so easy.
You're like the Chuckle Brothers in terms of coordination.
Yeah, it's
So
juggling skills.
To explain how this game works, imagine your Xbox 360 controller, or PS4, I guess, if you're using that.
Or DualShock.
Yep. Right stick and right trigger control the, whatever it is, younger brother. So you move around with the stick in space. There are no camera controls because the camera is all on rails and the camera works amazingly, which is great because this game was directed by a film director.
You can use LB and RB.
Oh yeah, you can rotate it around, but the general position of the camera will always be the same. Then you have the left stick controls the movement of the other brother, and then the left trigger controls the interactions with the older brother. Yep. So you have to kind of move both of these characters at the same time to accomplish certain things. So, like Chris said, beginning, you have to move a wheelbarrow with two of you at either end, like a stretcher. So you have to move the stretcher around the environment, and later on you have to do it with this huge pole that's like a dog trying to take a stick into a door that's too big to get in. Like there are some rope climbing puzzles where one of you has to like swing on the rope while the other one's holding on, and all this jazz. So it's so hard to do when you first start.
Oh god! Like when you first had to jump, like climb, I just fell to my death.
Yeah. They're just these two completely different aspects of movement that you both have to do. A lot of the puzzles you can stop with one whilst you're doing something with the other, and that makes it easier. But as you progress through these puzzles, you learn how to control them both like they learn to work together. It's just an insane example of gameplay reflecting the story.
Yep.
It's amazing. But
Did you always have it so like the left stick brother had to be on the left and the right had to be on the right?
Yes,
because I always had to like flip them around. I was like, yep, in position now, ready to go.
Yeah. But then the story, as this younger brother, like, he goes through this massive hallucinogenic sequence where he envisions his older brother killing him for killing their mother, and then you see the older brother fall for this woman that you save, and it turns out this woman is actually a giant spider, but that makes sense in the context of the story. And then she stabs him. I thought she was
pretty agile jumping around.
Yeah, I figured there's something up with this weird woman and why they're trying to sacrifice her at this crazy altar, which, by the way, is one of my favourite puzzles ever in a game, where you have to climb, the part where you have to climb onto each other's shoulders and cover yourself in blood to make yourself look like the god that they worship. So then you just walk up to go, ooga, ooga, ooga. It's amazing.
I was a bit confused with that, but I was like, what? I don't understand what I've got to do here.
Yeah, Something's confusing me. I just, when I got it, I was like, wow, that is great. That is great. Especially, like, because the reason why you know you can cover yourself with blood is because you accidentally fell into, like, a waterfall of blood earlier, and you got covered in blood. It was just great. So the older brother gets stabbed right as you are at the end of your journey, so you make this frantic dash up the tree of life to get to this nectar, come back down and start
so fast.
I climbed like I've never climbed before, and you're trying to feed it to the older brother, and it looks for a second like it's going to work, but then it doesn't, and then you're there in the rain and you're crying, and the older brother suddenly gets up and hugs you and tells you it's okay and that he forgives you, and then he lies back down again and he's actually dead and it was just like a hallucination. And then you have to bury your older brother. You have to drag his corpse over into a hole in the ground that you have dug and then kick the dirt on top of his body. You have to bury the person that you have gone through this amazing journey with
dirt.
And you have learned. They don't speak English. They don't speak any form of language.
Like Simish, isn't it?
Yeah, but you have learned how amazing these characters work together. Oh, it was just... I just couldn't hack it. And then this flying griffin thing comes that died earlier, and then you fly off, and then you conquer your fear of swimming. This is the best bit of this game. You are on the shore of your little hometown, and there is a bit early on in the game where you can't cross the water because the younger brother can't swim. So you have to latch on to the back of your older brother, and the older brother steers through the water as he swims. But when you get to this point again, after your older brother has died, you walk into the water as the younger brother, and you can't swim. So it says, no, I can't go on. And then you have to press the button that usually interacts with the older brother, so that the younger brother kind of summons the spirit and idea of his older brother, and then you can swim. And I was like, fuck, that was powerful.
Yeah.
So I cried a lot, and Brothers was amazing. And I made a video on it, and if you watch it, you'll understand, because I think I'm
actually, I can watch that video
tears.
now.
Yeah, I'm kind of battling back tears the entire time.
Well, I remember you posted that video. So I'll watch that later when I've played Brothers. I completely forgot. So, I might do that. That was a very, very emotional game. Very, very emotional game.
Yeah, and I think that deserves to win. But let's go through the rest of them. Gone Home.
Yep. You got a leather sister who runs away.
A leather sister.
I love that word. Well, you should probably describe this because you're better at being politically correct than I am.
You're the gay one.
What? What? Who? When?
All the time.
What were we on about? Okay, anyway, Gone Home. You start off. You come back from a trip to Amsterdam, well, across Europe from Amsterdam. Fly back home. You get a taxi home, and you go to the front door, and there's a note from your sister saying, I've gone somewhere, don't snoop around. Don't tell mom and dad. And then as you progress through this house, picking up clues about where your sister's gone and the story of your family, to eventually find out what's happened with her, and where she's gone to. And I thought it was pretty good, except the problem is I missed some very important things.
Yeah.
So I don't know
After
how
Chris finished the game, we were having this little like, oh, what did you think kind of session, and I was like, what did you think about this part? What part? You know, the part where you find this letter under the drawer. I didn't find that.
Yeah, to be fair, that one was like really tucked away behind the bin.
Yeah, but I feel
So I
like
missed that
the
one.
point of Gone Home was to search every nook and cranny, and
I thought it did, but apparently not.
I know, I was like a modern Sherlock Holmes when it came to that game. I was like, oh, there might be something on top of this thing, better try and jump onto this random cabinet to try and look at it, and it turns out, no, there isn't.
If I was a little girl,
Yeah,
where would I
put
my deepest
this
thoughts
letter?
and desires?
But the part about Gone Home, which has the most feels, is the way that you learn about your sister. It is so brilliantly written. You kind of discover the main chunks of the story through these diary entries that she's written, and she's kind of hidden around the house, and as you find them, you read them out, and, well, you kind of hear it in the little sister's voice. So she kind of talks you through the main events which led to this story of everyone being gone from this house. But in the process of doing it, as you're searching around, you find all of these environmental clues as to what is going on in these people's lives. It's very much like BioShock, and in fact this game was done by the team that did the BioShock Minerva's Den DLC.
All right.
So it's just amazingly, the story being portrayed in the environment like that, it makes for an incredible game. But the actual story is, I think, one of the most important stories that a game has ever told. Because, as you said, it is the story of this young girl who falls in love with this other girl, and her parents don't understand it. Her parents... this is set in, I think, 97, 94? It's not set in the present day. It's set before, like, mobile phones and stuff, so you can just be like, yo, where are you, via text.
Yeah,
you actually had to do some sleuthing. So it's this time where these girls are they're kind of hated by society, and they don't fit in, and it's just the feels, man. You finish the game by finding this little love den in the attic where this younger sister has made her little like shrine away from her parents for her true feelings, and it just comes together in this nice little golly, I'm so happy moment. And you
it turned out okay.
Yeah, you start the game thinking, how could everyone just have left, and then you finish it being like, go my child.
Don't come
with
back.
haste. They don't
back.
understand you here, but I still love you.
Yeah, I thought it was good. It was a good story. I didn't expect it to do that. I expected there to be like the parents weren't at home and things like that. And throughout all of it, I felt like it was Amnesia. I was like, I think someone's going to startle me around this corner. I was getting all worked up because the only other game like that I played is Amnesia, with that first-person kind of slow development, searching game. But I was getting a bit angsty. But it was good. It was good. Well, it was an amazing story. I think for most feels, Brothers is still.
Yeah, Brothers still up there.
Yeah.
So next game, Papers, Please. Have you played Papers, Please?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well,
Papers, Please.
Papers, Please is a game that is a self-described dystopian document thriller. You play as the border control agent for this fictional region of glory to Arstotzka, and the next country over is, I think, Kolech? So anyway, these Soviet-era countries, they border each other, and access to these countries is strictly controlled, kind of like the Berlin Wall situation. So, as you are just a normal person who has won the Labour lottery to get into this position, you have to do this really arbitrary, really repetitive task of checking documents to see if you are allowed to allow this person into the country. But as you go through it, you earn money that you have to spend on your family. And you kind of, at the end of every workday, you have to divide the money you've earned between various duties, like paying for heat, paying for food, paying for medicine, paying for the apartment, paying for rent, that kind of thing. So you are encouraged to do a fast job to earn more money, but the worse you do at it, the less money you get. So it's this kind of balance between doing this really repetitive thing really well and doing it quickly. But as you go through this game, what used to be this arbitrary task becomes a method for you to genuinely help people. There are these people that come up to you who say things like, I don't have any documents, but if you don't let me in, the guards in my hometown will kill me. You can just deny that person and never hear of them again, or you can let them through and get this penalty. But upon doing that, you are making this very meaningful choice.
What's the penalty?
The penalty is usually like you get a fine after three penalties in a day. You get a fine because you get first warning, second warning, that kind of thing.
So could you do 2 in a day and then like?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh.
But what you are also making, as the game goes on, more and more genuine mistakes when you forget to cross-check this person's fingerprints with their record data and it turns out that one of their fingerprints is wrong. That kind of thing. So it's just the way that this gameplay makes you actually care about the affairs of all these people through their dialogue with you that is kind of emotional. But at the same time, it's not as emotional as Brothers, so that still wins.
I think what's going to happen here is we're going to talk about each game and then going, but Brothers.
And then go Brothers. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty
That's definitely going to happen, but these games deserve a shout.
I don't see why the last game's on here.
Because I didn't just want to put all the games I played.
Oh, okay.
So I think the last game on here does sort of deserve to be on here because it did do characters very well, but it wasn't very
we could
good.
like swap out GTA 5 with The Last of Us.
Why didn't we do that?
I don't know. I just looked over to the left and was like, oh, that's pretty well.
So
we'll switch that over.
Instead of GTA 5, it is now The Last of Us.
This is so
That's perfectly professional. That's perfectly professional. So, the next game, The Swapper. The Swapper is a game about cloning and the philosophical implications of cloning. It's powerful, it's cool, it's one of the best indie games I played this year. It's an amazing puzzle game. Play it, but it's nowhere near as amazing as Brothers. So then The Last of Us.
That was pretty emotional.
That was pretty emotional, wasn't it?
I really liked that game. I'm going to put this in. I really, really liked that game.
I loved that game.
I did trade it in for GTA 5, admittedly, but still. It was, yeah. I think the stuff I liked about it more, though, were the idea that it's a zombie game, kind of like a zombie game, but focusing on the characters more than the zombies.
Yeah.
For one, and the story of the people, and the gameplay and the gruesomeness of it, and the crafting. But the most emotional bit for me was the ending was pretty good, but I think it's more the general idea that this really tough guy is like trying to keep everybody out because he lost his daughter at the beginning. Oh god, that bit as well. That was emotional.
Oh yeah, that was probably
that was
the most emotional opening to a game I've ever played.
Yeah,
having to carry your daughter in your arms while she dies.
I don't want to look after her. I don't want to deal with this. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then at the end, like he is looking out for her. I thought that was very good.
Mm.
But the reasons I enjoyed this game were more for the mechanics of it and the environment it created than the actual emotions of it. Like it's still an emotional game, and I love the characters and the story and everything. But for amount of feels, again, got to take this back to Brothers. I think.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh.
This category is most amount of feels. I think Brothers had amazing feels, but The Last of Us had more moments for me where I saw the complete breakdown of a human being. We've got the opening.
The end. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got the opening. We've got all of the points where you meet, like, that brothers, the two brothers, the older one and the younger one, who, where the younger one gets, like, bitten, and then the older brother kills him and kills himself. You've got the part with, that, like...
There was a bit with the car.
You've got the bit with the car, you've got the dam, you've just got all of these moments which perfectly set up some kind of emotional context.
Yeah.
And it did it very, very well.
Would this latecomer take over this category?
I think it does.
I really want to play this game again. Oh god damn it! I really want to play The Last of Us again.
And the Brothers, it's the ending that is amazing. The Last of Us has an equally amazing ending with the main character lying to this person he's become so lovingly fatherless towards, just to save her from herself.
Like at the end when he says, "Tell me the truth."
Yeah.
It's like, "I swear to you, that's what happened."
Yeah.
Like, okay then. And she goes, "Okay,
yeah,
that's fine."
Like you can see in her head, she's like, "Okay."
You can see in her eyes the slight twitch in the eyes.
Yeah. Where she kind of knows that that's maybe not what happened, but that's the only.
What can she do?
That's the only truth that matters to her.
Oh god.
It's just fantastic.
The problem is this game came out quite early, didn't it? I think. It came out earlier in the year because I was.
It did. Yeah.
It must have been in I think it was June or July because I was at home when I played it.
Yeah. Same.
So, it must have been earlier on. Because with Brothers, I only played it a few days ago, so it's pretty fresh in the mind. But The Last of Us. And that soundtrack as well. God. Okay, I think The Last of Us should win this.
I think The Last of Us should win this.
God,
I think Brothers.
What a turnaround.
We're picking 3 here, so we're
Only
picking
on
a winner and
succeeded.
2 runners up.
Oh, are we?
Yeah. So
okay,
I think The Last of Us gets pole position, then Brothers,
like
then Gone Home.
I can agree with that. Because I've played those 3.
Okay.
But are they genuinely more emotional than Papers, Please and The Swapper then? Because I haven't played those. So
Papers, Please is... The aesthetic of the game kind of gets in the way of the emotion. Because you know how The Last of Us was so real. It was just so visceral and real. The emotion was real. Brothers created a real relationship that you got to see broken apart. Gone Home creates this real house and this real home. Papers, Please was far too removed from reality to actually give me such real emotions.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying that can't happen, but that's just what happened with Papers, Please.
Yeah.
Okay, so good category.
GG.
how about we go through this one, then have a break, and then go through the next until the grand finale of Game of the Year and 2014's Game of the Year.
Well, we already know the winner for this next category. I already know the winner anyway, if this is the category we're going to
Well, you know this winner, but I have my own winner for this.
Okay. Okay, so this one is games that we looked forward to playing, but instead shed bitter tears of disappointment over.
2013.
2013, okay, right. There's only 3 in this one, isn't there? Because my page has been broken up funny. Okay, so first one, I'll just read through the list. Tomb Raider.
Yep.
Second one is Goddess.
Mm-hmm.
And third one is Proteus.
Yep.
Okay, so I've played Tomb Raider and Goddess.
Yep. I've played Tomb Raider and Proteus.
Okay. Should we start at Tomb Raider then?
Let's start Tomb Raider.
That one. Okay, right. I don't think it was bitter tears of I knew they were rebooting it. I'm a bit disappointed it became so actiony. And so, Lara can murder hundreds of soldiers with a bow and arrow. Or they have miniguns kind of thing. That's disappointing. But I don't know if it was... I didn't finish it, but from what I played, I don't know if it was sheer disappointment.
My disappointment with that game came from how I expected it to be this gripping tale of a young girl pushing herself to the brink to survive and becoming not a killing machine, but someone capable of killing. What I instead got was a young girl who went, "Oh, I've crashed," and then killed the first person she saw.
Yeah.
With basically no remorse.
They tried to do what you say, like from her audio cues of like at the start, like I can do this, just calm down, you can do it. But then it's just so disconnected when you're just murdering people with explosive shotguns and hacking them to bits. It's just not.
Yeah.
It tried to be what it shouldn't have been, just to sell more. I think people would buy a game that's got all this action.
Yeah.
It's disappointing. That was disappointing.
Good game, but disappointing because it could have been so much more.
Yeah.
It could have been The Last of Us of Tomb Raider, but it wasn't.
That would have been amazing, but it just didn't do that. Okay, Goddess.
Go for it.
Shit game. Right, okay, it was by that 22 can. You know, ages ago they did that thing where you had to break open a cube.
Yeah.
And one person got to see it. The winner of that basically became a god in Goddess.
Right.
That's pretty cool kind of thing they're doing. But the game they released is utter shit.
What does a god do in Goddess?
Right, basically, you've got these little, you've got little people on the ground, and you can, the god, you start being able to manipulate the levels of the earth, so you can like make Earth, destroy Earth, and make space for your people, make land and stuff. And as you make it bigger, you get more followers, and the more followers, like your influence spreads, so you can like your reach spreads, so you can alter more of the land. But it is. The problem is you have to collect this resource of, I think it's like faith or prayer or something. But every single house you have to click on. So say you have hundreds of houses of these people. You have to go one by one clicking every single house. There's no goal to it. There's no end game from what I could tell. The resources were boring. And there's this one bit where you can fight against... Because when I got it, it was in the not Kickstarter, like early access. And you could basically fight against other gods, but the way they did it in the early access was it was against an AI, but they tried to make it seem like another person. So you load up this tab, and it's like you got an invite from Goddess number 5 or whatever, and it's this like 15-year-old girl who's saying her dad's gone out if you want to have a game, and like I haven't played this much before, trying to have like an MSN style chat with you, and it's just a computer. It's like, what? That's the point when I just went, what the hell is this? I was thinking maybe I could forgive the clicking because maybe there's an ability. I think that you can get abilities later on that collect it, but it's just a crock of lies. Peter Molyneux saying it's the next big thing, because at the time I was playing a lot of Dungeon Keeper, and I love that game, and that was a god game made by Bullfrog, and Peter Molyneux was making it as well. So I thought, another god game has been so long, I'll give it a chance. No, I tried to do a Let's Play series of it, and the first one's like, this is okay, I'm getting used to this, and just a little clicky, but, I can deal with that. And then I did a second episode like, this isn't very good, and then just didn't make any more. It was just abysmal. I don't want to play that game again. There's no goal. There's no fun. There's not fun.
Did it seem like a mobile game?
Yes, it was designed as a mobile game, I think. So it was designed for tablets and phones where you just go around and tap everything. But they just ported it onto the PC.
Wow.
And it wasn't... if the category is most disappointment of you built yourself up to it, look forward to this game you want to play, and then it's crushed.
Yeah.
I really, really want this to win. But please describe Proteus to me. And try to convince me otherwise.
Proteus seems like a game that holds the secrets of the universe. It's like, you know when you were a kid and you found, like, some crazy book, like in the attic or something, you found some kind of box.
Yeah.
Like the safe on Reddit. And then you kind of build yourself up like, oh, what could this be? This could be an ancient spell book. I could be a wizard, or I could be learning a secret that no one's forgotten. Oh my god, Hitler's still alive! But instead, it turns out it's like a tax returns book.
What?
Something like that. It's just a book, and that is just somehow worse than it not being anything at all. That's what Proteus is. It's something which on the surface looks like it has amazing depth, but it turns out it totally doesn't. The way that it works, it's a randomly generated adventure where you spawn in the water, you walk up onto the island, and then you just walk around. You can't run, you just walk around. Now, I get this. This is meant to be this relaxing Zen-like experience of discovering this landscape. And I get that. That's cool.
Okay.
If you just want to chill out. There's all this like wildlife that is like musical and you can interact with them kind of in these really odd ways. And then there are things that you find that look like monuments of a forgotten era, stuff like that. And then you kind of start seeing what looks like the beginnings of a really cool thing. Like, I'll explain how this went for me. I found this hill that had these, like, totems around it. And I said, I know that when the game's day turns to night, you see all these fairies rush towards this one area, and then there's this big swirling vortex of fairies, and you stand in the middle of it, and it transports you to, like, a different place with, like, different seasons, and it's really cool, and wow, I love this. But I thought I'll stand on this place when that happens to see if there's some kind of interaction, because this looks like some kind of ritual area. So I did, I stood there, and when it turned to night, suddenly the sky went red, and all of these bizarre things were around, and then I saw this big white wolf's head run off. So I thought, oh, this is the start of what I'm meant to be doing here. So I ran after this wolf's head, and this wolf's head runs away and runs down all these fields, and I'm chasing it, and then it gets this giant tree, and the wolf starts playing hide and seek with me in the tree, and then I can't find the wolf anymore, and he's gone, and I'm back to the normal thing. So I'm like, fuck. Now I have to find this other way of doing this. And then I gave up. So that game was just like, I had this moment of, wow, I could be discovering something here. And then it just didn't happen. And I never played it again. And that's why it was the most disappointing game for me this year.
Right, okay.
But Goddess sounds like it wins.
I mean, it's... for disappointment means you get excited, then you're let down, isn't it?
You had me at Peter Molyneux.
It's redefining the God game. Actually,
this will be the most influential game of all time.
Let me find Goddess. I'm sure there was a slogan about, like, the reinvention of the God game somewhere on it. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, it wasn't, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So right, Goddess wins.
Yeah, Goddess wins. I've already highlighted it. Anyway.
Congratulations, Goddess.
I already highlighted before we started talking.
So I say we take 5 minutes.
Yep.
Go get a drink.
Make sure this audio doesn't crash halfway and we lost everything.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And then we'll be back with part 2 where we will be going over some exciting categories that all are really quite bad.
Yeah.
Yep. No, don't. Copyright, dude. Copyright.
Okay. Right,
we'll see you all later. Welcome back, everybody, to the second part of our Game of the Year deliberations.
Woo!
This time we're going to be running through 3 more categories.
Yep.
Maybe 4.
Yeah, maybe 4. We can say that we're having one big category for the Game of the Year. We're going to take ages for that one.
Yeah, that one's going to be... I think we should do that one last, and maybe do 2014's Game of the Year before that.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we'll do the sub ones and then have a break and then finish off the Game of the Year.
Okay, so first off on the agenda, games we wish we had played instead of completing our university courses to set up our future. Not that we don't have faith in Save Succeeded, we just want to be realistic 2013.
Alright, nice, short title, to the point.
I feel it gets to the point.
Yeah, says what it needs to say.
So this is basically games that we wish we had played.
Yeah.
More of.
Yep.
Or played at all.
Yep. Okay, so the list. We have Hearthstone.
Yep.
Gunpoint.
Yep.
Natural Selection 2.
Always.
The Walking Dead Season 2.
Yep.
Shelter.
Absolutely.
And Amnesia Machine for Pigs.
Right.
Okay, start with Hearthstone.
Mm-hmm.
We both have this.
Mm-hmm.
You won yours off I think you've already explained this
Antonio.
before on a different one.
Yep.
Yep. I enjoyed it. I wish
Yeah.
I did play more of this.
Right.
Because I didn't play it as much as you. I don't think. So, I wish I did play it.
I feel like I'm done with that game.
Really?
As it is right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
Because...
I'm going to spend 40 quid on these new packs and hoping
that's
the
the point.
save succeeded.
No, that's the point. That's the point. I didn't do that, and I feel like if I had done that, or if I do that soon, I will be able to play that game more. But as it stands, playing that game totally for free is a pile of bullshit.
It's just unbalanced.
It's unbalanced. Well, it's not unbalanced, it's just really, really hard to play that game for free. Because in order to play it for free, you need to play constructed. So you need to construct your own decks.
Okay.
In order to construct your own decks, you must own the cards. In order to own the cards, you must win games. So in order to get more cards to actually play Constructed, you need to win games of Constructed using only your basic cards. And at the moment, all of the metagame is all of these really fast-paced, really heavily aggroed decks.
Right.
And you cannot defend against that with your current cards. So you need to spend money in that game to win matches in order to get more cards. So I don't see how you can really play it for free unless you're really good.
Yep. I wish I played more of it, but compared to the other ones on this list, I don't think it's... there seems like other ones that I want to play more than a card game.
Okay. But definitely,
Worth mentioning.
I do want to play more of it, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Gunpoint.
Okay, I don't know anything about it. I've seen the pictures of it, but this is all for you, this one.
Gunpoint, 2D, stealth-ish game. It's more like a 2D puzzle game. You're given a task of infiltrate this building, either kill this person, delete these data logs, listen here, something like that. And you do it by wearing this pair of trousers that allow you to jump super high distances and punching people in the face, and with this tool where you rewire electronics.
Right. Okay.
So the basic flow of the game is get to this building, jump in through a window, punch a guy in the face, and then rewire the security camera to the plug socket so that when you walk into the security camera, the guy in the other room dies because he gets electric shock, and then rewire the door to the elevator's call button so that when you arrive on that floor on the elevator, the door opens, that kind of thing. So it's a really cool, very funny game. It's very self-aware of itself, and I wish I'd played it when it came out. I picked it up the other day in the sale, and I wish I played it more.
Okay. Right, that's a fair point. I can't add anything to that because I haven't played it or don't know anything about it.
You'd like it.
So
You'd really
Okay.
like it.
that's alright then. Next one, Natural Selection 2.
Natural Selection 2. Multiplayer, aliens versus marines.
I mean, this didn't cross my mind until you said it, but thinking about it, I really want to play this game.
It seems like it could be an amazing competitive game.
Because I tried to play it back and it had the free weekend.
Yeah.
But trying to play it by yourself is a bit so imagine if we
Yeah.
both played it, it'd be fun.
if we both played it or we got a couple of people to play it, that would be really great.
Yeah.
And from what I can tell, it's got a lot of depth. It's hard to get into, but when there are lots of resources and friendly people around to help you, it's not like Dota.
Oh, fuck Dota. But I think we've already talked about Dota, haven't we, earlier on?
Yeah, we've talked about
assholes.
Dota. Yeah.
Asshole, yeah.
So Natural Selection 2, I think, is the opposite of Dota. It's very deep, very cool. I'd like to play it, but unfortunately...
But being a shooter and stuff is quite accessible as well.
Yeah.
So,
and there are sick aliens that are really cool. That's better than Alien vs Predator.
I imagine it would be like Left 4 Dead when you play Versus there, where everybody wants to be the zombies and people just get pissed off and like, oh, I'm fucking Ellis.
No, because the humans have also cool stuff. They have like flying mechs and crazy, amazing guns. It's fun to play as both sides.
That's alright.
It's not as fun as playing an Alien, obviously.
That's all right then. So next up we have
Walking Dead Season 2.
There we go. Thank you. Yep, I want to play this because the Walking Dead Season 1 was wicked. But I mean, the reason I haven't played it is not as much as the title of doing our university degree, more of the fact that only 1/5 of it is available, and I want all of it, and I want it to be cheaper. So I don't think I really couldn't make this win this category because it doesn't really fit it exactly. But I want to play it. Is why I put it in here. But you know, I think Natural Selection 2 has a bit of an edge over this one.
I need to finish Walking Dead Season 1.
Yep, I don't have. How many months have I told you to play that fucking game?
Probably about 12 now.
Yeah, I think I was playing it during when was I doing it? I think I played it in the summer during my exams.
Yeah, it was during
that sounds
exam
about
season.
Right. Yeah, I think I've finished it all in like in a day or two or something.
Right.
Well, it should have been revising, like I should be now, you know. But
this is important. So from what I understand, Walking Dead Season 2, you take the role of that little girl, Clementine?
Yep, pretty much. I don't want to go into detail at all.
No.
Because it really would spoil things.
Yeah.
But yes, it does focus around her.
That's cool. I like her. She was cool.
Yeah, she's pretty nice.
I don't know what events caused her to be on her own, but...
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it.
Okay.
Don't want to spoil it.
Okay. So, next up, Shelter.
Yep.
I've heard great things.
This is the one with the badgers or whatever.
Yep, you play as like some animals and you run away from birds.
Yeah, I can't remember. I saw like a video review of it or something, and I heard it was really, really good. Except some little small bits about it, but it does look good. If it's on sale,
well, I brought it in the sale, so
it was on sale. Fuck.
Yeah, I brought it in the sale. Want to play it, but tomorrow is the next New Year, so this fits in that category.
Yeah.
Next up, Amnesia: Machine for Pigs. I like being scared.
No, you don't. Don't joke. Pussy.
It's true. I hate being scared. I am a complete pussy.
Oh god, you have to play play Dead Space 2, please. Just
I
play
did.
that last
I
bit.
played the first
Almost.
bit. And
no, you have to finish it. You have
that
to do
was
the last
enough.
bit.
No, I played the first bit.
No, you have to.
More than enough to realise what the game is about. And I concluded, fuck that game.
Okay. But yeah, Amnesia does look good, but I'm not too fussed about playing it.
I'd like to play it. I'd like to at least say I've played it. I didn't ever get on board with the hype of the first one. I liked watching YouTube videos of people being scared. But I never actually played the first one. Right. So I'd like to get on board with the second one. Maybe when VR comes around.
Oh no.
That would be amazing.
No.
I kind of feel myself doing that now. Whenever a game's out, I'm like, I'll just wait for the VR release.
Oh, it's so be good on the Oculus.
Yeah, I better save this for the Oculus whenever that comes out.
I'll make a note of it when it comes out in 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we can pick a winner easily on this one then.
I think Natural Selection 2 wins.
Yep. That was released this year, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay, good.
It was in beta before this year, I think, but it wins this year because it came out this year.
And fuck you guys, we'll do what we want.
Yep. Suck my balls. So, next category, most unnecessary game of the year.
Okay.
What we mean by this is, why would you release that? Why did you release that? Please don't release something like this again.
Yep. Pretty much.
So, in this category, the nominees are Dead Space 3. Did Dead Space need a third one?
Right, I'm trying to remember the ending of number 2. Because I didn't play the game for the story very much. I kind of got a bit lost in it, and I just played it for the gameplay and for the scariness. I think if they stopped at Dead Space 2, I would have been happy.
Yeah.
Because how Dead Space 2 was so good, how can you live up to it? And the way they tried to do it by making it more actiony with co-op was not the way to do it.
When I was playing Dead Space 3, all I could feel like was this was some executive decision to make Dead Space 3 a bro game.
Pretty much.
This was a game that you sit on the couch with your friend and shoot things. This is not a horror game.
No.
Except you still have to run away from the invincible alien, which is always terrifying.
Yep. Oh, God. That was very unnecessary.
Very unnecessary.
Think about it.
Didn't add anything.
That was very unnecessary.
I don't know why they did this. They should apologise immediately. So, next game, equally as unnecessary, and I'm sensing a trend, Crysis 3.
EA.
EA.
Yeah, Crysis 1, I like that game. That was good.
Loved Crysis 1.
Crysis 2, not very good.
No.
Became a console shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Limited the abilities.
Simpled
made
it
a
down.
corridor. Crysis 3 was more of that. So I could say Crysis 2 was unnecessary. Crysis 3 was more unnecessary because Crysis 2 was so unnecessary as well.
Crysis 3 is what happens when you take a great game and want to make money out of it.
I'm thinking maybe Crysis 3 is more unnecessary than Dead Space 3 at this point. Just because Crysis 2 was so unnecessary.
Yeah, Dead Space 3 has the... Okay, if it was good, then it wouldn't be unnecessary. If Crysis 3 was good, it would still be unnecessary.
Yeah. Better check yourself before... No, okay. Next one. Brain Age, concentration training.
We have not played this, but this came out this year, and why are they still releasing Brain Age training?
Old ladies buy them. My grandma had a DS, she played the Brain Age
My grandma had a
time,
DS, she had brain training, my mum played brain training.
She was so proud when she was 55. I
How
have the brain
many,
of a 55-year-old.
How many things can you train with a brain? Surely there are about 4 things you can train a brain to do, and there have been more than enough games already. Please stop.
Although I think it is pretty unnecessary, I think it's not our audience.
No, it's not, but still.
So, I know. It's worth mentioning, but I don't want to award it to Brain Age.
No.
Okay, last one. Call of Duty
Ghosts.
I
think that speaks for itself right now.
I mean, Call of Duty 4, amazing. I like the Call of Duty 3 and the World at War and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if they could just have a break for a year, they could work themselves out and figure out what to do.
They keep having breaks for a year, that's the problem. They keep moving the Call of Duty name around different studios, so we never get a break from them. Whilst they seem to think that people just want more. And that's not what people want. People loved Modern Warfare 1 because it was something new. And now they just go, oh, you liked it, so you'll like this one. That's not true. Although, which one was the one in the future? Modern Warfare 3?
Black Ops
4? Black Ops 2?
I think they're all kind of future now.
No, Black Ops 2. That was the one I was thinking of. At least that one tried to do something different, but it tried to out Modern Warfare.
Yeah. They just have to do something completely new now.
They need to make a farm boy simulator where you play as a farm boy with a shotgun who has to shoot crows.
Call of Duty, yeah.
Call of Duty, farmyard animals.
Farmville 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at this point, we're so used to that now, though, these coming out. We already know it's on net. We know it's going to come out. We know what it's going to be like. I think the award has to go to one of the other two, Dead Space 3 or Crysis 3.
I think
Just
the
for the
award
sheer-
goes to Crisis 3.
I think it should be Crisis 3. Yeah. I'm going to highlight that. Well done, Crisis 3.
Congratulations, EA, for taking the
Oh,
vast
oh.
majority of the nominations. We could have included Battlefield on this.
I played that, though, and I really like it. I think it's... The thing is, the concept of Battlefield 3 being the way it is in its type of shooter is still kind of new. And I think with Battlefield 4, from what I played on it, they've improved on the ideas of 3.
Yeah.
So, although it's a military shooter, it's not. It hasn't turned into Call of Duty yet, where it's that unnecessary.
No. I think the single player of Battlefield has become most unnecessary.
Yeah,
But they at least try and maintain the dignity of the multiplayer.
yeah, they do. So, some people could view it as unnecessary, but I think at this point it's still accessible. If they release
Yeah.
Bad Company 3, fuck yeah, love
Yeah.
that.
Maybe.
That's what What?
I just feel we're so hypocritical being like, oh, Call of Duty,
Yeah, but they're
Battlefield
different,
3, though, that would be yes.
No, but they're different. They're Call of Duty's so arcadey and kill streaks and stuff like that. This isn't that. Okay. Is this our final? Oh no, we've got two more. Sorry, they're split into the different pages. Two more sections until we get to our game of the year.
Two more sections until Game of the Year. So, this category is Game of any year that we played this year but was not released this year. So, of course, we're going to have two different lists for this, but we still have to pick one.
Okay. Well,
So-
with your list, Awesome Naughts is on mine as well.
Yeah.
But-
Okay, so Awesome Naughts is Awesome Naughts 2D MOBA with only 3 players per team that is highly unbalanced, has lots of problems, but is incredibly fun.
Yeah, don't listen to the bit before in the podcast about MOBAs. Skip to this.
That doesn't
skip
really
back.
apply to this, because this is so far removed from a good MOBA that it's just fun.
Yeah, there was like
The aesthetics
squid guy
is
and
fun. Admiral Swiggins. There's all of the music is so amazing, and everything is just
it
fun
has
to
such
play.
design. Yeah,
Everything is so unique. It's just brilliant.
it was
But
very good.
I could not play this game competitively. You have to play this game just having fun.
And I couldn't play it alone either.
No,
I wouldn't want to play it alone.
I feel like this game is all about those moments where you do something incredible, regardless of the outcome of the actual match.
Yeah, I mean, for this though, we have to think we're picking the game of the year that we played this year.
Yeah, and it's not Awesome Naughts.
I don't think I could give it to that. Although it was really
No.
fun, and I've sunk 20 hours in it in the past
in the course of like
3-4
5
days. Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I don't think I could. I still couldn't award it to that.
Okay. Well, the rest of my list, we'll just go through the lists.
Yep.
Thomas Was Alone. I played that
Okay.
this year after kind of not really giving it a second thought the year before. And oh my god, that game gave me a religious experience.
A religious
It's
experience.
amazing. It's amazing.
Really? That
Thomas
good?
Was Alone. What is that good? Thomas Is Alone is the brothers of the last year.
Wow.
Next
That's
game,
impressive.
VVV. I'd played that before, but I'd never finished it. I finally finished it this year, and I forgot how much of a blast it is to go through that game from start to finish.
Yeah.
That game is just such the right balance of difficult but rewarding. It's just great. I just love it.
Cool.
And there's the added element of those like collectible orbs that you get, which are actually the best form of collectible I've ever seen, because you have to go out of your way to get them.
Oh, nice. An actual collectible.
Yeah, an actual collectible, like the doing things the hard way achievement, where
Which one
you
was that?
have to. That's the one where, because in VV you have to. You can only flip gravity. You can't jump. So these collectible orbs that you get, one of them is just on the other end of this platform, but there is a tiny block in the way, so you can't jump over it. Instead, you have to flip gravity, navigate through 4 separate screens of spike-filled mayhem, all whilst falling, never stopping, bounce off a block at the top that disappears when you touch it, so you have to touch it, bounce immediately, and then come all the way back down again and land on the other side of this block.
Wow.
And it's called Doing Things the Hard Way. And I did that once, and then I had to do it again the next time I played it, and it's just amazing. I love it.
Wow.
It just does really crazy things with all these mechanics. Also made by one of my favourite game developers. So
Awesome.
Next game, Cook Serve Delicious. I don't think this should win. I don't think this should win, but it's cool.
Okay.
I like it. Cookery. Frantic. Fun. That's all I have to say on Cook Serve Delicious.
That's fair enough.
Take it away.
Okay, my list. We have Fallout New Vegas. This has been out for years, but I end up playing it every year because I've bought the DLC and I'm like, I could start a new character. Fucking love that game. Wicked game. There's so much to do and it doesn't get boring and you have new ways to do it. There's not really much you could say about this game, to be honest, because it's been out for so long.
It's so amazing. There's so much to do, but I can't say anything about it.
Just listen to me.
Sorry.
Making your characters.
You have the talking pillow.
Do you have the talking stick? Yeah, I really like that. Other one, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I enjoyed Counter-Strike Source quite a lot when we played that, and I think this definitely improved on it. Nice graphical style, new maps, new guns, new aesthetic. Pretty much just more Counter-Strike but updated.
Did you even play it much this year?
Yeah, I played it a bit. Like 20 hours maybe. But I think I know what I want. I've got a problem here. There's not a game on the list, but... right.
You forgot Final Fantasy?
Yeah, no. I'm looking at it. I need to talk about this now. I've got it on the screen.
Okay.
The Walking Dead. Started playing it in November. Finished it on the 3rd of January. It crosses over 2012 to 2013. Halfway through.
Right.
I don't know what to do. Because I started playing it in one big chunk in December 31st at 9:18 p.m. That's when I got an achievement.
Okay.
And I really want this to count.
Well, this is game of any year that we played this year, but was not released this year.
But I mean, I played some of it at the very beginning of this year, so I don't know if it counts.
Yes, it counts.
Okay, The Walking Dead.
Okay.
We talked about it earlier, but the story, the characters, I haven't actually played what was the style of game it's called where you walk around looking for clues?
Adventure game.
Yeah, haven't played one of those before, I don't think. So that I think is a really good introduction to that genre of games. Because all the ones that's in, like, is it Deponia or whatever?
Deponia?
The one with the big city in the sky, and you're that mechanic guy. All these adventure games and stuff are like looking for tons of clues and like combining items to get to locked doors and that kind of thing. And that didn't really appeal to me, but The Walking Dead is much more simplistic and is focusing on the story and characters a lot more.
Yeah.
Which was really good. I really, really enjoyed that game. And the last one, Final Fantasy VII. I finished Final Fantasy IX a few years ago and loved it. And people keep saying, "Oh, 7's the best. You've got to play 7." So I gave that a go, and I've really enjoyed what they did with that game. The direction they went with it, having a Final Fantasy game, but it's still kind of like in a mechanized urban environment. Good characters, good storyline, and a lot of time is sunk into that game. But yeah, I thought it was really good. So for this list, are we picking one? Do we have to argue about this?
Because this.
So we have to argue for.
Yeah, we have to.
Oh, okay.
Like, I assume you're not going to pick a list. You're not going to pick a game on my list.
No.
And I'm not going to pick a game on your list.
No.
But we have to pick a game on someone's list.
Oh, okay. The only crossover is Awesome Noughts, and we already said we're not picking that.
Yeah, we're not picking Awesome Noughts. That can become runner-up or something, but I'm not picking Awesome Noughts as my game of the year.
Okay. I really, really, really... Okay, I think you're going to vouch for Thomas Was Alone, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to vouch for The Walking Dead. But
Right.
This is... I don't know how to go about this, because you haven't played it.
I have
And
played
I've-
The Walking Dead,
Have you?
but not all of it.
How much have you played of it?
I've played up until, like, the fourth act.
Oh, no, out of the 5.
Okay, then the third act.
Okay.
I think the last thing I did was crush the guy, like, was escape from the cannibal house.
Oh, he killed him with a brick. Crushed his head with it.
With
Okay.
a salt brick.
Okay, so you've played enough of it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd know Thomas Was Alone is the cubes that you jump around, aren't you? Or the rectangles and stuff that jump around.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm going to have to leave it up to your discretion on this one. Because you've played enough of the Walking Dead to see where it's going, I think. And to know what it's about.
Right.
But I don't know much about Thomas Was Alone. So, I mean...
Okay, let me pitch you Thomas Was Alone.
Okay.
It's a game about friendship
Ooh, okay.
that takes the aesthetic of this computer that has developed a way of problem solving by itself. It's this artificial intelligence.
Okay.
And this artificial intelligence is called Thomas.
Okay.
And Thomas thinks he is alone. He has never met another artificial intelligence. But whilst cruising around on this interweb of, like, information, he starts finding other artificial intelligences. But all of these artificial intelligences don't know that they're artificial intelligence. They just know that they exist. So Thomas, his life goal is to find some friends.
Oh.
He meets other artificial intelligences, such as this huge blue cube who never fits in anywhere and wants to be a superhero. He meets this tiny rectangle that is really grumpy. And he meets this tiny grumpy rectangle who just wants to be alone. He meets this little bouncy one who can jump really high, who is just really excited that things are. And they all just come together to journey towards just going. Because they all meet up, and then Thomas is just super excited he's found some friends. So he's like, let's just do stuff together. So whilst they're doing it, they start coming across these situations where they're getting eaten by this giant virus thing. And the giant virus thing, they accept as this inevitable, crazy end of the world scenario. But Thomas loves his new friend so much, he tries to get everybody to journey with him to stop this virus. And it's just how all of these different rectangles interact with each other as friends, and every single one of their personalities is kind of implicit in the way that they behave. So the big fat square can't jump, but she's the only one that can float on water. And then the little one, like, he can't jump at all, really, so he's kind of a burden, but he starts falling in love with, like, one of these giant sticks that can be used to, like, get you higher places.
Okay.
It's just an amazing experience of friendship and character and ultimate sacrifice. It's just really good.
So when you've got these little cubes, is that like, are they in a computer together, and the cubes are representations of them?
The way I see it is that these cubes are the behaviours of different artificial intelligences on the internet.
Right. Okay.
But they all have, like, the way that the whole game is narrated by Danny Wallace, the guy from Assassin's Creed, the computer tech guy.
Oh, right, cool.
And he just brings this really charming kind of character to everyone. Oh, it's just amazing.
I'm willing to give this one up. If you think it's more impressive than The Walking Dead, I can live with this category going towards Thomas Was Alone.
Okay.
Should we do
Yeah.
that? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll highlight that in yellow. There we go. Don't even know why I'm doing this. I'm never going to use this list again.
No, you're not, but I am.
Yeah. Right, it's the last one now for this list, this section.
Yeah. 2014's Game of the Year.
This is quite a big list.
This is quite a big list,
I
but
think we
all of
should
these deserve to be on here.
Okay, we'll mention them,
Right.
but then we can probably just cut stuff pretty
Yeah,
efficiently. straight
I
away.
figure we're going to pick 3 here. One
Okay.
Game of the Year, 1 runner-up. 2
Two
runners
runners up. Okay, so first one, Final Fantasy 15.
Yep.
Infamous Second
Instantly
Son.
delete that off the list.
No, let's not get too hasty. Infamous Second Son.
Uh-huh.
Watch Dogs.
Uh-huh.
The Witness.
Mm-hmm.
Metal Gear.
No.
South
Delete
Park
that
Stick
one.
of Truth. No, fuck off. Dark Souls 2. Delete that one.
No, now we're
Titanfall.
talking.
And Persona 5.
Which is
Okay.
going to be the Game of the Year.
Okay, I'm willing to cut Final Fantasy 15. I just wanted to
Mhm.
mention it because it looks pretty.
Nope.
And
Nope. We're cutting Final Fantasy 15 because it's never going to be Game of the Year on any year.
okay. Well, it might be. Okay,
It
so we'll
won't
get
be.
rid of that. Okay.
So-
South Park. Then we can.
I think
cut
we
that.
can cut South Park.
It could be funny, but
Could be funny, but it's not going to be the best game.
no. I was about to say Persona 5, but
Persona 5 could be really good.
Persona 4. Watched
Persona
that a lot.
4 was really good.
Is it out
Persona
this year?
3
though?
was
Is
really
it coming out
good.
this year? Have they
Next
announced-
year.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so they announced it's coming out in 2014.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so, for the PS3.
Okay, that's really dumb, but still.
Yeah.
God, it's already hard. We need to get it down to 3.
Cut Metal Gear.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
Yeah,
I'm
because
not willing to cut Metal Gear. I love Metal Gear Solid.
is great and all, but I think
No, but it's Kojima, his creative
yeah, it's crazy, and there are
interesting
certain
characters and
parts of the
worlds
game
and
which are really, really cool.
gameplay and the story and the characters and Metal Gear. Let's leave that one for now. Okay. Titanfall.
I think that could be cool, but I don't think it's going to be Game of the Year.
Could be a good tactical shooter, but have fun with it.
Yep, I
would you
think it'd be a
crown it?
fun game, but what it's doing with the whole revolutionizing multiplayer and single player blurred lines business.
Yeah. We'll have to see, but we'll cross it off this list for now. The Witness.
Yes, that will be Game of the Year.
Is that's what you're going for? The Witness.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So we can't get rid of that one.
Nope. I will
Watch Dogs.
put my hand on the line for that one. Watch Dogs, I think, probably won't be as good as it looks.
No, I think it's going to be too monetized, and we got to make it more popular for the mainstream. And
I think hype has got the better of a lot of people with Watch Dogs.
yeah, seeing the gameplay of it, it's just you kind of they call it hacking, but it's just going on your phone and clicking X on some cameras, and then you're done.
Yeah, I have a feeling that they've only showed off little bits of the game, because I think all of the game is probably going to be the same thing done over and over again.
Yeah.
But I really like the way that they're doing the whole random events thing. I like that, but it might be shit. So I'm
Okay.
willing to cross Watch Dogs off.
Okay, so we have to get rid of 2 more. Okay,
Yeah.
what is your vote toward? Which one do you have to keep on this list?
The Witness.
The Witness. Okay, I don't know much about that because
Neither
I've been
do
told
I.
not to know much about that because it would
Neither
ruin it
do I.
otherwise. But The Witness, fuck. Infamous Second Son does look really good, and I did love Infamous.
Yeah, but I didn't like Infamous 2.
Okay.
But I don't know whether that was just because I really liked Infamous 1 and the characters were all the same and I liked the newness of the first Infamous.
Yeah, I'm still gonna buy Infamous Second Son.
Absolutely.
It's one of the reasons I got a PS4, to be honest. But I really want.
But
Metal
will
Gear
it
on
be
this
Game
list.
of the Year? We need to cut 2.
I know. Okay, should we cut Infamous? But it looks so good.
It looks really good, but will it be any different than Infamous?
I don't know. Let's talk about the other ones. Dark Souls. What about Dark Souls 2?
Dark Souls 2 could be really good or really bad.
From what I've seen of it, it just looks extremely similar to the first one.
And that's a good thing, but
I don't know what they're doing new with it.
I think Dark Souls 2... The first Dark Souls was not the best game I've ever played. It was just really good, and it kind of existed in this unique zone of, I hate this game, but that's why I like it so much.
Yep. Can we cross that one off?
I'm willing to cross Dark Souls 2 off.
Okay.
So, Persona 5, Metal Gear, The Witness, and Infamous Second Son. I think out of that list, Infamous is the obvious choice to axe.
I think there's more potential to be had with Persona 5 and Metal Gear.
But I also think that Metal Gear is also one of the obvious ones to axe. And I know that you don't like that, but I think you know it's true. I did not
expect to see this list. This is not the list I expected. I was expecting, like, oh, you can't cross Watch Dogs off. And now we're crossing Infamous off. What the hell's going? I would like to just... Infamous looks wicked. I feel bad taking this off. But I think it's something that has to be done.
I would rather take off Metal Gear than Infamous.
But I'm really looking forward to Metal Gear Solid. They're so unique.
Wait, do you think The Witness belongs on this list?
I don't know if I could crap. I honestly don't know much about it. I really don't. I know it's like an island that's got puzzles on, but...
Did you like Braid?
I didn't play Braid, and what I did play a bit, I was like, it's alright. And it didn't really... Dude. I didn't get into it.
Dude.
I didn't get into it. But the thing is, if we cross off The Witness, what are we going to crown? What's going to win?
If we cross off The Witness, this will be a different list than I ever expected it to be. Because we'll have Infamous.
Have you deleted all
Metal
the other ones
Gear. On it? No, I've crossed them out.
Okay, that's alright then, because I'm going to undo my deleting.
Okay. I just strike through.
I'm going to strike these through now instead.
Ooh.
This is such an odd list.
Persona 5. Will it actually be... What are we talking about? Of course it'll be a great game. Look how long it's been in development.
I know, just Persona 4. That game was
Persona 4 was on the PS2. Persona 3 is on a entirely different generation. It won't be on the PS4, but it will be on the PS3.
I know. Oh,
and the PS3. This is... The Last of Us came out...
We haven't even got to the Game of the Year
right at the very end of the cycle, right?
Yes.
What if Persona 5 is better than The Last of Us?
If they can manipulate this console to its full potential.
If
it's not an exclusive though, so...
It's not.
It's not exclusive, is it? Like to the PS3.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's not coming out on PS4.
No, I mean like Xbox.
No, it's not coming out on Xbox. It's exclusive on PS3.
No.
Yeah. Why?
Oh my god, it is because they released that Catherine on both, didn't they? And that was by the same studio.
No, that was by Suda51, wasn't it?
No, I'm sure that was.
No, that couldn't have been Persona. It was by Atlas. But Atlas is
but
publisher.
Not the. Yes, it's an exclusive. Yes, highly developed. Yes. Okay. That could be so good. It could be so good.
We need to cross off one.
We have to. Okay,
Infamous, right. I think, will be better than Metal Gear. Because I don't like Metal Gear.
But I really like Metal Gear.
Why?
It's one of my
Sell
favorite.
me Metal Gear.
Because it's so abstract, has amazing characters, the gameplay is wicked, it has a good length to it, and it's just it has so much character.
But cutscenes.
That was number 4. That was just number 4.
But why will that not
they were
be
still
number
good.
5?
They still liked them. Okay, we're keeping Persona 5 because we think that could. This is all speculation at the moment, isn't it? We're just speculating.
Yeah, that's why it's 2014's Game of the Year.
If we keep it in mind that we have to speculate what we think is going to be one of the games of the year. For me, Persona 5 and Metal Gear are there? Which are
Mhm.
your two? Which two would you think?
The Witness and Persona 5.
So we can cross off Infamous. We'll cross off Infamous.
Okay, it pains
this really,
me to
this
do
really.
it.
I expected this to be somewhere up there, but it's honourable number 4. It's the first of the last.
Yeah, but we can't. We have to be deadly.
Okay, so we have to pick one now. Persona 5. Should we just do that?
No, because it's The Witness. I know that Persona 5 is the one we both agree on, but The Witness is the actual winner. And I'm telling you, I will not move on this.
Oh, why? But you don't know much about it. You don't know any...
I know, but this is Jonathan Blow, and Jonathan Blow does not do me wrong.
But this aggressive defensiveness you have for The Witness is what I feel for Metal Gear.
Yeah, but I actually know that The Witness is going to be better than Metal Gear.
No, fuck you.
I know that it's the future, but I know that The Witness will be better than Metal Gear.
Can we not just pick Persona? Okay, let's try and make a case for
No,
Persona.
we can't. No, because we can't just. You know what? Actually, we can, because Persona 5.
It does look wicked.
We can't make a compromise.
We can. That's the point. I did not expect this list at all.
No, we can't just bump Persona 5 up from number 3 to number 1
It was never
because it's the one
Right.
we agree on.
This is paining me.
Persona 5 might actually be better than The Witness if they continue with Persona 4's character development,
Yeah.
but in a much more better game.
Yeah.
And not just some dungeon crawling mechanics slapped on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool and all, but if they perfect that.
Yeah.
Because the distance from Persona 3 to Persona 4 really improved with the dungeon crawling stuff.
Yeah.
But Persona 5, if it does it better, it could be amazing.
It could be.
Even though we're not going to play it and we're going to watch Giant Bomb play it instead.
No, man, I'm going to play it. I've already watched Persona 4 through twice, so I need to play this. I need to play a Persona game.
Okay. I still think it's The Witness.
I don't know anything about it, though. I know it's on an island and you do puzzles, but that's about it. I don't know what to justify 2014's Game of the Year in 2013.
Because let
not
me
knowing-
put
but I
it to
didn't-
you
I
this
didn't
way.
play
Let me
Braid.
put it to you this way. Braid was the perfect game. Braid was the absolute definition of what a puzzle game should be. It used it wasn't afraid to sacrifice parts of the game for completeness. It put in some stuff in there that weren't the best puzzles, but they had to be there to make the game complete.
If The Witness gets this award, then I'm saying The Witness is going to be better than Metal Gear Solid.
And it will be.
No, but you don't.
But
For
I
you.
do.
No, but
No, for everyone, for mankind.
No, come
I
on.
think that The Witness is going to go down in history as one of the games that define games.
Fine, The Witness can have it. I don't want to do it though, but The Witness can have it. I don't
Thank you.
I don't like arguing. Keep that in mind when we deliberate for the final section for the Game of the Year. Keep that in mind, my friend.
Hello, cat. The cat has joined me for Game of the Year
just in
deliberations.
time.
Okay,
Just in time for the
so
break.
I'm willing to put The Witness, Persona 5, then Metal Gear.
No,
Yes.
no, come on.
Yes.
I compromised for you.
You didn't compromise
I gave
for
you
me.
The Witness. I gave you the. Please put Metal Gear Solid second. Please, and then we can both, because we both agree on 5. Because you didn't say
Right.
we couldn't bump it up to first from third. How can we bump it up from third to second?
Because
just for
that's
your-
a
just for
perfectly
you.
reasonable move.
No, it
it's not
isn't.
just
No.
for me, because it's a compromise.
No, fuck off. No, because you win. You won. I can't. I'm not coming last.
Yeah, but that's
I'm coming
because
second.
that's because I'm right.
No, but
Metal
you're not.
Gear is a good game. It has some really awesome parts to it. But Metal Gear will forever be a game that sacrifices being a good game for Kojima's ego.
Just put it second, and then we can move on. 'Cause
Oh,
we both agree on Persona, so we can go third.
Okay, you know what? I think Kojima will have learnt his lesson, so that I am allowing you to put Metal Gear second.
Yay. So we've crossed off Infamous, Watch Dogs, Dark Souls.
Right.
And we ended up with Persona 5, The Witness, and Metal Gear.
Okay. Kat, I'd appreciate it if you didn't walk all over the desk whilst I'm trying to record.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
so, should we have a break before we do Game of the Year?
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
dear. Okay. Right. Toodles.
Toodles, everybody. See you after the break. And we're back for the final part of our 2013 Game of the Year deliberations.
Woo.
Woo! So the final category, Game of the Year, the big one, the big whammy.
The big G.
Get ready to rumble with the Game of the Year.
Make sure you're sitting down.
Do not stand up if you are weak of heart.
Do not use if you have a heart implant. Right. Because your name's at the top of this list. Would
Yeah.
you like to start?
Yeah. Okay. So, I'll just run through mine, then you can run through yours, then we can start chopping up other people's off each list.
Okay.
I have...
Wait, no, what?
I
I
would like
take
to
some
do
off yours
this.
and you take some off mine.
Yeah,
So I could like, oh,
you
Brothers
cut
is
one off
gone.
mine.
Go,
Yeah, you
goodbye,
could.
Brothers.
You could.
No.
But then Brothers is on yours as well, and I'd keep it there. So, you chop one off mine, I'll chop one off yours, and we'll do that until we have 3 left, and I will argue with you when I finish cutting off yours. 3 left on each list. Okay.
Oh, fuck.
But you're free to argue. You're free to argue.
Okay, right. I'm going to add this one to my list as well, just to give it some more bulk, because you've got more than me. So just add that onto the...
Okay.
Slap that.
So, my list. Bioshock Infinite. This is in no particular order. Guacamelee.
Well, it is. It's the order that's written down.
Yeah, but this is in no particular order.
Okay.
The Last of Us. Brothers. Papers, Please. Gone Home. Vulgar the Viking. Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. Antechamber. The Swapper. If you would please refrain from laughing at some of my options.
So it's just
that
Sonic
would be
and
highly
All-Stars Racing
respected.
caught me off guard. It did make me giggle on that one.
Right. Okay, go with your list.
Okay. Bioshock Infinite. The Last of Us. Brothers. Splinter Cell Blacklist. Grand Theft Auto 5. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Battlefield 4.
Okay.
Right, so I need to select one to chop from your list.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be... Okay, so I want to chop... See, you've got bulk here. You've got a defense lined up. This is what you've done. You've just got like Sonic and All Stars Racing.
These are all great games.
Were they Game of the Year categories? Were they up
Some
there
of them are.
with it?
Some of them are.
Yeah, but a lot of them is just tat.
A lot of them are what I consider my personal great games of the year.
Okay, well, if that's what you think, I'm going to get rid of. Sonic and All Stars Racing.
I agree.
I liked it. We both played it a lot.
It.
But I'm not gonna. Let's get rid of that.
It was fun, but frustrating because I lost.
No, but all these ones I really like. The stuff on here, like the Swapper, you're like, it's alright. You know it's not gonna win, but all of these for me are.
Well, you're free to add some other games that you want.
Well, it's just tat, just some.
It's not tat. The Swapper is a great game.
Some chaff to fill the void. Is that
the
what you're
Swapper
trying to
is
say?
one of the best indie games I played this
Orcs
year.
Must Die too. No, it wasn't even that this year.
No, come on, be serious.
Don't joke.
Okay, so I will cut off yours. Splinter Cell Blacklist.
No,
Yeah.
not already. There's other ones. I can see like.
Okay. I will cut off GTA 5. I think that is an amazing game.
Yep.
But it is not Game of the Year.
I can agree with that. It was fun, good characters, good story. It's GTA. Lower they did new with having 3 people, but it wouldn't be in the top 3.
Nope.
Right, it's one piece of tat out the way. What else? Like all the bottom ones, you can just tell you got bored and slashed.
No, Antechamber and the
Okay.
Antechamber is really good. The Swapper is really good.
Alright, Volgar the Viking, I'm going to chop off yours. Unless you want to defend it.
I agree. No, I agree. Volgar the
I know you
Viking
liked
is
it,
a
but-
great game, but does things. It goes out of its way to frustrate you in certain aspects, and I don't like that.
Okay.
I'm going to say Black Flag.
Okay. I'm going to allow you to cross it off, but I want to defend it a little bit before it just gets wiped off the face of this list. Right. They really added new stuff for Assassin's Creed, because it was getting a bit boring recently. It was just complete reiterations of the series, nothing new really being added. But Black Flag, the naval combat really is a huge part of the game. Like, it's one of the biggest parts of it. It's not just something tacked on. And it is really satisfying sailing across the sea with your sea shanties and being a pirate, and a good storyline as well. But I really enjoyed it, and it is one of my personal games of the year. But with regret, I'm going to allow it to be sliced off this list.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
All right. This next one is going to hurt, but I think I know which two that you're going to pick.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
You can pick two now, because if you pick two,
Then
I pick one. You pick two, I pick one. Then you pick one. It'll be fine.
So I pick two. Okay.
Yeah.
Guacamelee.
No. No.
No?
No.
No? That was a good...
Guacamelee. Oh, you're kind of right, but Guacamelee, it's so good. It's one of those games
that good.
It takes me back to my childhood. You know when you had your Game Boy Advance and you'd play Pokemon until like 1 in the morning, and it'd be really awesome because you'd discover all this new stuff and you'd be really good at it?
Yeah.
That was Guacamelee. Guacamelee is just amazing for that childish sense of this game is so good.
Right.
It's got an amazing combat system. It does Metroidvania incredibly well.
Okay.
It's got a great story. It's got a great New Game Plus mode. It's got secrets. It's got challenge. No, you cannot cross off Guacamelee.
Okay, oh, it's getting... Okay, right.
Vetoed.
Okay, Antechamber.
I'll allow it.
Okay, that was easy.
Antechamber, really good, but not a great game, just a great experiment. It fucks with your mind, fucks with your body.
Okay.
But it's not an amazing game.
The Swapper.
I'll also allow it.
Yeah,
but
it's chaff.
Great puzzle game. Great puzzle game.
This line of pawns you have set up.
No. Come on.
You know
now
it's
you're
true.
into the now you're into the it's gonna hurt whenever you cut something.
Okay. Right, you got to pick one. There's one I want you to pick because it's the least one that's going to do the least damaging.
Battlefield 4.
Yeah, that's the one. I just wanted to make it an honourable mention because I've been enjoying it a lot. Because I remember back in the days of Halo 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, when competitive shooters and things like that were actually good, where they're enjoyable. Battlefield 4 is kind of bringing me back to that, where I'm not worrying about kill streak getting annihilated. Amazing graphics, amazing set pieces. A lot of Battlefield 4 is summed up in moments you have, like you jump out of a helicopter to knife a guy and explode a tank to capture a flag, and you can picture all these explosions and the scene itself going off later on. It makes a lot of those moments for me.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to give it a mention. But I'm going to cut it.
Okay.
So I take two
now.
now.
You're down to 4.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I take off 2.
Yep, you take off 2.
Papers, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Papers, Please is really good, but it's nowhere near as good as any of the other games on this list. Now this one is gonna sting.
There are 2 there that I want to keep. You can already tell which 2 they are.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, there could be 3 that you could see. Gone Home.
That's interesting.
It was so good. But I'm just... Guacamelee be the other one that I'd say, but...
I'm going to say, if it's a choice for you between Gone Home and Guacamelee, you please take Guacamelee.
Okay, so goodbye, Guacamelee.
But you lived well. You were there. You're at number...
You're the first of the last.
You're the first of the last.
Oh, no.
Okay, now I'm going to pick. And you know which one I'm going to pick. Goodbye, Blacklist.
Oh, fuck. I know. It had... God damn it, it's such a good game. Right, can I defend it?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. We played that, didn't we?
Yeah,
that was an amazing stealth game. That was
really good.
That was the pinnacle.
Yeah.
But then they released Splinter Cell Conviction.
Yeah.
And Splinter Cell Conviction was far too actiony. You could highlight dudes and auto-shoot them. There was not much consequence to the game. But Blacklist incorporated the feel of Conviction, but with the more stealthier aspects of Chaos Theory. Not as good as Chaos Theory.
That sounds really good.
Not as good. Chaos Theory was still the best, but it's still better than Conviction.
Okay.
So... Oh, God. Okay.
Okay, now you have to pick one to be the last of the last. Because I think if you pick one, I think...
Then we're down to...
Then we're down to having to cut...
Then we're 3 each, and then we can kind of argue.
Yeah, and most of them will be in common. Because you've got Bioshock Infinite, you've got The Last of Us, you've got Brothers. And you're going to try and pick Gone Home.
I really want to.
And I know you're going to try and pick Gone Home, but you shouldn't.
But compared to the other ones on that list...
Mm.
Okay, right, I want to keep The Last of Us. That's the one I really, really want to keep, is The Last of Us on there.
Right.
I also want to keep Bioshock Infinite.
Right.
Now, the reason I want to keep Bioshock Infinite is because that game had so much character and such a sense of identity to it. Like, you know how with me on my music, I listen to like 10 songs. I've got 10 songs on my favourite on Spotify. That's about it.
Yeah.
2 of those songs were in Bioshock Infinite.
That does not make it a good game,
It
Chris.
does. It really does.
It does
when
not.
it played Rolling Stones, Give Me Shelter, and
Chris,
Lacrimosa DSE.
Chris, just because you have similar music tastes with the developers, you cannot pick it as Game of the Year because of that.
I mean, it has such an amazing set piece.
Does, but it does a lot wrong. It's too busy trying to be a Bioshock game, and I know why they did it, because it makes the story like what it is, but
the thing is, for this, I know what you want to win, but I want something else.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, right. I need to get rid of one, don't I?
Yeah.
Okay, Bioshock Infinite.
What? Okay.
Is that all Gone Home? So, I mean...
Well, I'd rather you take Bioshock Infinite because it's still on your list than Gone Home.
But...
I'll fight for you, Gone Home.
I really...
I will fight for you.
Somebody will. Okay, so I'm crossing off... Might as well cross off Bioshock Infinite from mine as well, then.
Right.
Okay, so we're down... This is it, the deliberation.
That really hurts cutting Bioshock
I
Infinite.
know, it's so... I really liked
hurts.
that game. It was so pretty. It was such a pretty...
I started that game at like 5 at night and finished it at 3 in the morning, and I just wandered around my house at 3 a.m. I don't know what to do now. All my friends are dead.
I'm dead.
It's just stopped. My universe that I want to live in is just now over.
I'll find a lighthouse.
Yeah,
okay.
It was difficult to not play that game.
I'd rather cross off Gone Home than Bioshock.
But you see, would I?
Okay, I'm changing my mind. I'm going to cross off Gone Home.
No.
I've uncrossed Bioshock.
You see, I don't agree with you. Gone Home is...
I think my experience was ruined because I missed the two most vital pieces of information.
You did. Gone Home is just a fantastic game. But I think I get hung up on its message rather than the actual game. Because the game wasn't as fun to play as Bioshock. It wasn't as involving as Bioshock. It didn't last as long as Bioshock. Bioshock was just a perfect world.
It had so much colour and such vibrance.
No, you can take Gone Home.
Okay.
You can take Gone Home. Bioshock is not getting off this list.
Okay. Gone Home.
Oh, bye Gone Home. No, Gone Home.
God damn it!
Oh,
Okay.
That one really stings.
Oh, well, okay, this is easy then. Well, it's easier
No,
now that
because
we've
now
got
we
this.
have to decide which one is the game of the year.
I want The Last of Us to win.
And I want Brothers to win.
Mm.
I think... This is how I think the order goes. The Last of Us, Bioshock Infinite, Brothers.
So, Last of Us first.
No.
Okay, cool, I agree with that. Last of Us first, Bioshock Infinite second,
I
Brothers last.
think Brothers first, The Last of Us, Brothers, Bioshock Infinite, The Last of Us. I don't know why I said it the other way around. I was like looking down the list, thinking, first comes last.
See, I want to swap the last to the first. I want Last of Us to come first. I want The Last of Us.
Why do you think The Last of Us deserves to beat Brothers?
Because I think it had such a well-defined tone. The gameplay was really good. It was fun, yet it had a serious story. Great character development. Different sceneries. And I thought it was really good. Brothers, I really like the story behind it and the way the controls certainly integrated into the story and the actual game itself. But I just think when we were talking about The Last of Us earlier, I was just thinking, oh, that was such a good game. That was a really good game.
That really was. I've forgotten how much of a good game The Last of Us was.
Because it was released so early.
But did it do something as special as Brothers? Because The Last of Us is a great game, but is it as important as Brothers? Because The Last of Us was basically Uncharted 2 with more feeling.
This is hard.
It was a really good game, but my god, was Brothers fantastic.
If I had to pick one to play, I would pick The Last of Us. If I
Yeah, I kind of agree with you in the fact that The Last of Us is not something you can miss. But Brothers is the best game I've ever played.
But as the game progressed with this, like the seasons to winter and playing as Ellie, and taking on this whole new character and fighting to survive against these odds.
Yeah, but you've got to remember, that game also had the syndrome of all the enemies are going to ignore Ellie even though she's right in front of them. All of that janky kind of AI pathing issues. You've got a really, really...
What do you think is better, Bioshock Infinite or The Last of Us?
I think The Last of Us did less things wrong than Bioshock Infinite, but it also did more things right. But I think for what Bioshock Infinite accomplished, because The Last of Us, I don't think it's as hard to make a post-apocalyptic game as it is to make a game that comments on the nature of games while simultaneously being set in a floating city in the sky, and my desktop background is Bioshock Infinite, not The Last of Us. And it frequently changes to a different Bioshock Infinite one, because that game is just beautiful.
I also did enjoy the combat and the gameplay of The Last of Us more than Bioshock.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
I mean, Bioshock's just got a bit... It's just too shootery. I'd say too shootery, just didn't have much...
It did shooting really well.
Yeah.
And I like the powers and stuff, but
I mean, it just felt more. I was focusing more on the environment and the scenery
yeah.
and the set pieces.
It's just the world it created. I think Bioshock Infinite is so beautiful, but The Last of Us is also beautiful in a completely tragic way.
I think the better thing about Bioshock Infinite is the universe, and the better thing about The Last of Us is the game as a whole.
No, I think Bioshock Infinite is a better game than Last of Us.
This is terrible.
I enjoyed Bioshock Infinite more than The Last of Us. The Last of Us was a great game, but I stopped halfway through and thought, I think I will give this a break, but Bioshock Infinite just would not let me go. Chris, just think about those moments in Bioshock Infinite where you were just hit over and over again by something amazing. When you saw the first time when you went up in the little spaceship and you broke through the clouds, hallelujah. When you walk through the streets and see all these people playing, and then you see the sign that says no Jews allowed, and you see the people that record these audio logs of their struggles, and you see the rebellion break the future, and you see this girl come to power through blood, and you see yourself corrupted. Oh, it's just amazing, Chris.
But I didn't like the ending, though.
Why?
Because it's time travel stuff.
It's not time travel.
In the universe, they could have. There's 1,000 different ways they could have done. They could have injured him so he didn't go to the Battle of the Wounded Knee or whatever.
Yeah, and they did.
No, they didn't. They killed him.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't.
They did everything.
What? No,
there is an infinite number of universes full of infinite possibilities. They tried everything.
But he still became Booker DeWitt. No, what's his name? He still became the bad guy.
In one timeline, yeah. But when that timeline gains access to all the other universes through this powerful girl, you need to get that girl back. Because she has the power to travel through these universes as well.
The thing is, if I say this Brothers is going to win, if I give in at this point, so fine, Bioshock can come second.
No, we're arguing for third place right now. You can argue a case that Brothers comes in third place, and I will dispute it, but I will understand it.
For Brothers,
because when you're comparing Brothers to The Last of Us and Bioshock Infinite, what you're really doing is comparing Snake on the mobile phone to
Pong,
like a modern iPad game. Whilst there is that massive technical difficulty, there is still something innately amazing about Snake that Goddess just doesn't have.
What Goddess? Piece of shit.
And that, in terms of sheer on paper, Brothers is not the best game here. But to me, Brothers will always be the best game here. But I understand if it has to go in space number 3.
If we can do that, okay.
If we can do that,
go third.
Because bear in mind that is the third best game that has been released this year.
It is. It is a very. I will hold it strongly.
And it is the only one that we agree deserves to be up there.
Okay, right, Brothers, you can go third.
Okay.
So put a little fuck 3. Now we have to.
Now it becomes difficult.
Okay, so we are now fighting for first place.
And it's Bioshock Infinite. Oh, but you see, if Bioshock Infinite goes first, then Brothers has to go first.
No, Brothers
because
is third.
Brothers is better than Bioshock Infinite.
Brothers is third. We've got Brothers in third place.
Good night, sweet prince.
Berry like a brother.
Okay.
So we've got. Oh god, this must be so hard for Giant Bomb. Every year. goddamn.
It's Bioshock. It's Bioshock.
But the thing that holds the most for me in Bioshock is just the universe. And the colours and the set pieces.
Yeah, but it's what that universe says about games.
What does it say?
It says that there will always be a lighthouse. There will always be a man in charge. There will always be a Booker DeWitt. And it doesn't matter, because it's what we do inside those universes that matters.
I never took that away from that game.
Well, that's because you just didn't look at it hard enough.
Yeah.
The Last of Us said nothing like that. The Last of Us was a story. It was a story-ass story. Bioshock Infinite said something. And there's nothing wrong with the story. But Bioshock Infinite was a story that had massive implications about stories in general. It comments on the very nature of the game that it is. And The Last of Us did not do that.
I don't see how it comments on the nature of the very game that it is.
Because the reason why it's called Bioshock Infinite isn't because it's set in Rapture. It's because there is a lighthouse, there is a man in charge of the city, there is a Booker DeWitt.
Okay.
Bioshock is a brand, but that brand is a set of core ideas.
Okay.
The story that drew you into Bioshock, the first one, draws you into Bioshock Infinite. It's the same argument as the man with 1,000 faces. There will always be this unique set of things that every human is inspired by, and Bioshock takes that. And Bioshock Infinite takes that and tells you that that's what it is. And it shoves it in your face and it says, look at the story that we know is telling you that games can be this infinite amount of creativity and possibility. And all the choices that you make inside a game matter because you're making a choice. Not because of the outcome, because you're making that choice. And The Last of Us said, you don't have any choice. Like, you have choice how to do this, but the choice of where the story goes is in our hands.
What choice did you have in Bioshock? Isn't it just a set story? What do you mean by choice?
That's the thing, yeah. The Bioshock, it had, all the way through it, meaningless choices. The very first choice you're asked to make is to get onto the pier. To get out of the boat and onto the pier. And that's your start of the journey into the game. Then you are just bombarded with these meaningless choices, such as flipping the coin. The first time you see that, like, the twins with one of the board, the one has like the board on him with heads and tails and like the equal number of there's like 1 billion heads and no tails, and then you flip the coin and call it heads or tails, and it lands on like heads.
Yeah.
And that's a choice that has had the same outcome in every single universe. It isn't a choice. The choice is to choose which one, but the outcome will be the same. It's the illusion of choice. That is something you use within a game. Then you've got the choice of the cage or the bird necklace thing. One of them symbolizing her freedom, one of them symbolizing her captivity, but their meanings are reversed. The cage symbolizes her freedom, and the bird symbolizes her captivity.
Okay.
Giving her the choice to wear that doesn't make any difference on the outcome other than the thing that she wears around her neck. It's a choice that has no impact. And they know that, and they rub that in your face, because every single choice that you do to maintain on your journey through the game is the only meaningful choice. It's the choice to not stop playing.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm going with this, Chris, but the fact that I'm talking for this long, I am filibustering this decision. If I just keep talking, you'll have no choice but to accept it.
That's the way it rolls.
Just trust me, it's Bioshock. I'm just going to put Bioshock as number 1 up here, and then you can...
But
No.
Just from...
Oh, Chris. You're not making any case for The Last of Us other than it's good.
No, because you've been talking for the past 20 hours.
Yeah, but...
This is very, very hard. This is very, very hard.
I agree. The Last of Us deserves to be up here, but it does not deserve to be number one.
I just think I enjoyed The Last of Us more than I enjoyed Bioshock Infinite. Even if it was by a fraction. Just by a tiny little fraction, I still enjoyed The Last of Us more than Bioshock Infinite. Because it's the game itself as well as fun. Like, that combat was intense. That beating people with, like, the hammers and the 2x4s with nails in. It was crazy. And the exploding heads and all that stuff. It was fun. It had that story behind it. And the character development between Ellie and Joel was amazing. The emotions behind it. Mate, it won the award for most feels. As well.
Yeah, it did.
Most amount of feels.
But do you remember that part in Bioshock Infinite when you release her from her captivity and then she's on the beach dancing?
Yes.
When I played that game for a second time, I never wanted that moment to end. Because I knew the devastation that would wreck that city. That beautiful floating city in the sky. That city is a character. The Last of Us does humans really well, but Bioshock Infinite does game really well.
But I enjoyed the game of Last of Us more than Bioshock Infinite. Fuck. This is really hard.
Yeah, think about just how good Bioshock Infinite was. Because we can... Like, The Last of Us was good, but there were things about it that I didn't like. With the controls and the actual gameplay. Like, that whole storing your weapons thing and switching them out on the fly and... like, crafting stuff out of all these other stuff. It seemed like a way to incorporate all of those things to make it seem like you were scavenging for supplies. And it never really felt like that to me. It just felt like it was too much of a gamey mechanic. Bioshock had such an improvement over all the other Bioshocks. Like, you can only store 2 weapons. You are super encouraged to use all of your little, like, vials and stuff. You're really encouraged to use all of your powers. There is a kind of flow to the combat with the Skyrail thing. It's just amazing. I think you're forgetting how much fun Bioshock was to play. Because The Last of Us was really intense to play, but Bioshock was fun.
To me, Bioshock just felt like a shooter with powers. It didn't feel like it was doing anything special.
But it was. You moving around on that Skyrail opened up the combat.
Yeah, but that didn't happen all the time. There's only a few times you could use the Skyrail.
No, it wasn't a few times. In nearly every single combat scenario, you could use the Skyrail. There was only 1 or 2 where you couldn't.
This is so...
And it's got all of these different themes of racism and...
How big is the gap between Bioshock and The Last of Us for you?
Minute. It is a plank length. Because I love those
1
games.
angstrom.
To me, Brothers comes way above both of them, but I know that that's never going to happen. So I'm letting Brothers be on 3. But I feel like Bioshock is just too good.
I feel the separation between 1 and 2 is just... It makes it seem the gap is huge between Infinite and The Last of Us. When it isn't.
Because there can be
really
only
isn't.
There can be only one number 1.
This is the dumbest thing.
And it's Bioshock Infinite.
I feel like I should go back and play them again. Can we hold this podcast for a few days?
No.
And then...
No, I'm sorry.
It just makes it seem like Infinite is so much better than The Last of Us when you place it number 1 above number 2. Or The Last of Us is so much better than Bioshock Infinite when it's 1 above 2. When it isn't. It's the tiniest slither. Because they're different. And you try to categorise them as the same thing, and they go out to do different tasks. And to say one is better than the other is really hard. I still think our list for the 2014 is the stupidest list ever, though.
No, it isn't.
It's
Persona.
the most obscure ones. Of like...
Do you want to know what's really obscure?
What?
Last night I brought Transformers Fall of Cybertron and Transformers War for Cybertron on a whim.
Were they on sale?
And yeah,
Like on a daily flash or something? I don't remember them.
yeah, they were.
Was I in bed?
Probably. It was at like 1 in the morning.
Is that the actual good one?
Yeah, they're good. They're both good.
Which one?
I like how we've just ignored.
Can we just not?
Goodbye, Game of the Year. Let's just talk about the things we bought in the sale.
Yeah.
Dude, come on.
Come on!
Bioshock Infinite was the best game I never paid for.
You never paid for it, what?
No, it came free with my graphics card, didn't it?
Is that altering your judgment, do you think, on...
No.
You sure? Because
Dude,
if
come
it
on.
is, then...
Bioshock Infinite was so good. Look at these screenshots. Oh my god. All of them. Just fantastic. All of these metaphors. Oh my god. Why can't I hold
so
all these
many metaphors.
Why can't I hold all these metaphors? The Last of Us, just simple.
But good. But so good.
But good, but simple.
I don't get the tones you're talking about in Bioshock Infinite, though.
Well, just because you don't get them, it doesn't mean they're not there.
I don't know if you're looking into it too much or something.
No, I'm not. The game gives you plenty to tell you that you are not looking too much into it. It tells you that you're right.
That I'm right, that you're looking too much into it.
No, it tells you that you're right by looking into it that much. Bioshock Infinite will go down as a game that you can write essays on. It will be the Breaking Bad of video games.
Ooh. Ooh. I'm on the verge of saying, okay, fine.
Then we'll say, okay, fine.
I'm on the verge.
Bioshock wins Game of the Year 2013.
Hasn't been confirmed.
Yes,
no,
it
hasn't.
has. It's so good, Chris.
But The Last of Us was so good.
Yeah, it was as well, and it will be honoured as that
so
in number
much
2.
Oh, if I go try and convince my case that Metal Gear was better than fucking The Witness next year for top place.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And if I was right about that, then I'll be right about Bioshock, won't I?
No.
So...
Have you won all of this? You won The Witness.
I haven't won all of this.
Game of the Year.
No, come on. I'm right when I say Bioshock Infinite was Game of the Year. The Witness may be a load of shit. That was a fun category.
Got me riled up, don't know about you.
It got me riled up.
Oh, God.
But, no, Chris, Bioshock really is the best one.
Fine, you can have
You're
it.
not giving
Fine,
it...
Bioshock
Yes.
can come first. Last of Us.
Game of the Year, Bioshock Infinite. Closely followed. Closely followed by The Last of Us. And then Brothers, even though Brothers actually deserves to be on top.
Well...
So the real list is Brothers, Bioshock Infinite, The Last of
don't
Us.
start that. The
The Last
official
of Us
list...
is number 3.
Fuck off.
The official list is Bioshock Infinite, The Last of Us, Brothers.
Yep.
But the unofficial list is Brothers, Bioshock Infinite, The Last of Us.
God.
Actually, no, it's Brothers, Bioshock Infinite,
No.
Gone Home.
No, it's Sonic All-Stars
Guacamelee,
Racing, Battlefield 4, Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Antichamber. Yep.
Final Fantasy VII.
Okay, well, wow.
Oh,
Wow, that was hard.
that was a lot harder than I thought. Having to cross them off each other's list when you had so much chaff in the week.
Yeah. I'm really sad when you took Gone Home.
You knew it had to happen, though.
It did have to happen,
Oh.
but I'm sad it did. And Guacamelee, that one hurt. You should get the chance to play Guacamelee when it comes up in the sales again.
I should give it a go, if it's that good.
It really is that good. You'd really like it.
Okay.
Mexican wrestlers. Okay. Fuck's sake.
Right.
Ugh.
All that profanity. Gee whiz. Impressive.
Oh, golly.
Gee
Well,
willikers.
thank you for joining us
Mm.
for Game of the Year deliberations. Let us know what you think. Did we make the right choice?
Subscribe in the comments.
Comment,
give us a
rate,
like.
subscribe,
If
share on
you're,
Facebook.
Twitter, Bebo, MySpace.
Mhm. Follow us on
Hashtag
Foursquare.
succeeded. What? What's Foursquare?
I don't
SoundCloud.
know. Foursquare's like a joint, like show where I am in the world type thing.
Oh, right.
Oh God. Okay. Well,
We're done.
that was. Yeah, we're done.
Right. See you in a year then.
We're done. Yep. See you next year,
Yeah.
everyone.
Toodles.
It was nice joining you. See you later. Have a good 2014, everyone.
Bye.
Peace out.